seconds to go. Got to cut and run through the ball. They'll do better than this guy. Get it in the blue. It's good. 1.3. John goes in front. For McDavid, Dostal will spin that up towards center. And Frank Vetrano has it bumped off a stick pipe and pulls it, charging toward this. Dostal will spin that up towards center. And Frank
77. As 1977 as Okamoto
Next day on Crave. The Jason Gregor Show.
Dostal will spin that up towards center. And Frank Vetrano has it bumped off a stick pipe and pulls it, charging toward this.
On Sports 1440.
1977 as Okamoto trails one. Deep.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Seconds to go. Cut and run through the ball. They'll do better than this guy. Get it in the blue. Bouchard ahead. Boozer, that ball deflected. Stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. It's done. 1.3. Utah goes in front.
Well, a magnificent Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. There is lots and lots to get to. What a weekend in sports, hockey and basketball and baseball and golf. And man, if you are a sports fan right now, there is so much going on. You got WHL playoffs. You got the AJHL playoffs going on. BCLHL playoffs are getting going this weekend. The Oil Kings needed overtime to get that series split against Saskatoon. So we know for sure that Game 5 will be in Edmonton on Friday night. They're going to play tomorrow and Wednesday on the road in Saskatoon, and then there'll be Game 5 at least coming out on Friday. And if there is Game 7, I think it might be like a quick turnaround. Like they might have to play like Game 5 Friday, Game 6 Sunday, Game 7 on the Monday potentially. So we'll see what happens the remainder of the way for the Oil Kings. Of course, the Edmonton Oilers, another win, 3 in a row. Break out the Oilers. They've won 3 in a row for only the second time this season. They were the last team in the NHL to win 3 in a row on 2 different occasions. And now there's them and the Philadelphia Flyers, the only teams in the NHL who have yet to win 4 games in a row at any point. Even like Chicago and Vancouver and the Rangers, and they've all won 4 in a row at one point. But the Oilers and the Flyers, who are both currently on 3-game winning streaks. Tomorrow night, both of them could win 4 in a row for the first time. So we'll touch on that. Also, the Jays, man, 50 strikeouts for the Jays pitchers on the weekend. Obviously, that's a record for the first 3 games of the season. I think it was a record for a 3-game series for the Jays in franchise history. Like, oh my, they're on pace for 2,700 strikeouts this year. So it's a fun one, but obviously that's not going to happen. I was looking at the most strikeouts in a major league season by one team was set in 2018 and was around 1,800. So that's a lot of strikeouts. But the Jays, hey, they got some guys who can get strikeouts. And like even Hoffman with the rare 4 strikeout inning because he struck the guy out, and then it was kind of a wild pitch pass ball by Kirk, and then he has to strike out the next guy. So that was wild. The Vegas Golden Knights firing their head coach yesterday. Who do they think they are? Lou Lamoriello and the New Jersey Devils? Because the Devils twice fired their coach in the final 8 games of the regular season. In 2007, with 3 games remaining, Claude Julien got fired. Lou Lamoriello replaced him himself. The Devils were in first place, by the way, when that happened. First place. And he's like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Obviously, the veterans in the room must have said something. So they fired him. They won the first round, then they lost to Ottawa in the second round. In 2000, the Devils fired the sweater man, Robbie Ftorek, with 8 games to go. They were in first place again. They replaced him with Larry Robinson. They won the Stanley Cup. So something tells me, because it happened in 2000, that Lou was like, oh, if we do it again, we can win a cup. But it didn't happen. They did win a round. But they were first place teams. The Vegas Golden Knights, since the Olympic break, and they returned to hockey on February 25th, only Vancouver has a worse points percentage than the Vegas Golden Knights. And that's who John Tortorella gets to coach against in his first game with Vegas. So we'll touch on that. As always, the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca, $65 million up for grabs in Lotto Max. There's playoff races to get to and more. Sean Brown will join us. We got a loaded show as well for you today. Kevin Woodley will be by. Ken Bulki's going to join us from Vegas. Jordan Hall from Philadelphia. We got Speck. We got Cam Tate. Tyson Shiskowicz will join us to talk a little Blue Jays. Another new pitcher will make his debut tonight on the mound. They start a 3-game set against the Colorado Rockies. And then I think they've got the White Sox and then a rematch of the World Series against the LA Dodgers starting a week today. So busy week for the Jays. We'll get to all that. We'll take your text, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. How different a week makes. Oiler fans, last Monday, you're like, oh my God, I don't know, this team's going to make the playoffs. Now your team wins 3 in a row against Utah, against Vegas and Anaheim, all teams that were ahead of them in the standings. Not anymore. The Oilers are ahead of Vegas now. And the Oilers suddenly looking not bad. Things change quickly as we welcome in Sean Brown. Brownie, how you doing?
Good. A little wet out there. I was coming in usually I come in the white mud, but I came in the yellowhead. And just to warn the listeners out there, over by the Italian Center, there is a pothole that will wreck your car.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I went by that one. Yeah. There's actually quite a few here. But yeah, you're talking the right turning lane.
Yes.
When you're coming, if you're going southbound on 170th Street, you're right. That thing is, that's like it's probably almost a foot wide.
At least. It's nutty. It's crazy that Edmonton hasn't addressed that. Because like I said, I mean, I got a truck, not that would be any better, but you got a small car, that's taking your car out for sure. So keep your head up out there if you're driving around. I don't think that's the only one either.
No, there's a few of them down 107th Ave. It's like, I don't know, maybe because of the weather, somebody out there knows way more than I. It just seems like and I know that Edmonton has a reputation. We have a few potholes. I get it. We have like a 60-degree temperature change, right, from the summertime to the winter. So I understand it. But it just seems this year and I don't know, who knows, maybe you just forget, but it seems like there's more right now.
I'm a lot more aware of it now because I got a motorcycle, right? So now as I'm driving the streets, I'm very aware of potholes and road conditions and especially that tar when you don't realize when you get on that tar that they put down, like that kind of, for an inexperienced driver like myself, it's a weird sensation when you're going over that. So I'm a lot more aware of road conditions now as I prepare for the summer coming up.
Oh yeah. I could see it. Edmonton Oilers, 3 wins since we talked to you last. The Mammoth, the Vegas Golden Knights, and of course, Anaheim. And pretty solid victories across the board for the Oilers in all 3 of those games. You know what? We're never really in trouble in any of the games. They're up 3-0. The Ducks made it close for a stretch there. But once it was 3-2, Anaheim didn't have a lot of chances. The one thing in the Ducks game that I noticed, Edmonton's new defensive structure, I'm sure it's going to be hard for some people because the puck's in the O-zone, but the Ducks would have the puck in the O-zone a lot, Brownie, without really getting any dangerous chance. They're really saying we're not giving up slot shots. It's basically what they've said. You guys want to shoot from the blue line? All right. So you got to be good in front of the net, try to get in the shooting lane, but they didn't give up a lot of quality chances right from the slot.
Yeah, they definitely are kind of clogging up in the middle, and the middle is obviously where a lot of the goals are scored and where you want your players to play inside those dots. And they are a little bit different. I was, obviously it was a great game to watch. I was impressed with, Anaheim's ability to, when they got down, the response that they had to get pucks in and to have some zone time. It was, kudos to the Oilers. I think they know, obviously, coming down the stretch here, and they really did a good job, obviously, when they were in Utah, of really making an effort of really defending better habits, and more importantly, the commitment to blocking shots. Obviously, as you come down the stretch here, this is the Oilers have never made it easy, but it's amazing to watch as they come down the stretch here, that experience and the detail. At times, obviously, they got to be a frustrating team to watch and probably a frustrating team to coach, but they do look different. And it's amazing how, when you have a little bit of belief and you have a little bit of confidence and you get guys going individually and as a team, how much different they look and how much different we all feel about them.
Well, there's a few things that I've noticed. Number one, I think, honestly, going back to the Tampa Bay game, this is the 4 most consistent games Darnell Nurse has played in a row this season. Right, him and Murphy, but Nurse, he's aggressive, but his decisions with and without the puck have been monumentally better. And Paul Coffey, obviously, he's a little bit of the Nurse whisperer. He knows what to say or what not to say to him, because there's been a shift here for sure in his play.
And it's Paul Coffey too, right? I mean, when he's talking to you and coaching you, I just think it's a different level. And, I think every player, it doesn't matter who he is, at some point in time during the season, that, whether they're feeling it or not feeling the simplicity to everyone's game, there has to be some of that. And I think that with Nurse, he's recognized that, maybe there was, some weaknesses in his game, and you kind of have to kind of step back and analyze, and sometimes you have to simplify it. So, he needs to play better for the Oilers, or needs to be, he's a big part of the Oilers and their success. And, he needs to find his game if they're going to have success. And I really like that matchup that they have, those 2 big guys, Murphy back there, because, looking at those guys and the size and the stick and the physicality, they could be hard and are hard and need to be hard, because, when McDavid and obviously when Draisaitl gets back here, every other top team has a pair that makes you pay a price and make it hard and makes it hard for our star players to play. And we need to be able to, deliver that ourselves. So, the fact that they're 2 big guys, and I think the biggest thing that I like about their game is I found the Oilers to be a very reactionary team. And right now, I think that they're kind of asserting themselves and they're going after a little bit. Teams are reacting to them, and I think that's a good sign for them. And that's the way those 2 big guys have to play back there.
I'm seeing, I think Knobloch is kind of figuring out how he's going to and where he's going to use Dickinson. Obviously, he's getting a ton of D-zone starts. Right, we're seeing him get a few more minutes against the other team's best players. And the other thing I liked about Dickinson, I loved his play on Theodore in that Vegas game. After he got, and I talked to Jason Dickinson about the hit today. And, when McNabb got him, and Dickinson said, you know what? I have no problem with the hit. I don't love it, but I kind of put myself in a tough spot. I knew that I had to reach to get the puck. And usually when you reach, that's when you get exposed a little bit, right? And he said, obviously, when he got hit, he was mad. But I like that he just went right after Theodore, right? Hard hit, sure. Right at the end, and you're like, hey, you know what? If I hit this guy, someone's probably going to come in and it's going to even out anyway. and that's what it did. Yeah. But I like when if you have more players on your team that have high energy and a little bleep you attitude, like Murphy has it. Like Murphy took a fight I don't think he really needed to take was it the Vegas game? I can't remember which game it was, but I'm like, good up, maybe it's Utah, either one. And you see Dickinson, and it's just added to your overall toughness, because when Dickinson goes in there, everybody on your team now has to come in on the scrum. And you've been in those, Brownie. Like when everybody on the ice gets in a scrum and everybody's jumping around, it does, in a weird way, it brings your team closer.
I love it. I love it as a fan. I love, they got a team that obviously has a ton of skill. And when you add that grit, and like I said earlier about, being a reactionary team, he's a big guy. He skates well. He's got a little bit of that edge to them, or to his game. And Murphy and himself, and there's others, like, you have to have that unpredictability to your game. You have to be able to go after it. It's a physical game, and it's an emotional game. And when you can invest yourself emotionally into the game, and with the skill that they have, they're hard to play against. So yeah, I had absolutely no problem with that. And I've been on the bench plenty of times where there's guys that are playing that style of hockey, and whether you're in the scrum or you're on the bench, it is no better way to kind of get everyone into it, get everyone's blood going, right? It's a conversation that you have on the bench. They're conversations they're positive conversations and feelings that you have in between the intermission. So I like it. It just engages, I think it brings out the best in Dickinson's game when he plays that type of style of hockey. And I think it brings out, obviously, other elements of his teammates' games as well.
What do you think of the Vegas coaching move?
Yeah, that was a surprise. I wasn't too sure with Tortorella. I mean, obviously he's a polarizing figure. But I like it. I like that Kelly McCrimmon. I like how aggressive he is during the trade deadline and the moves that he makes. And I just feel like there's a lot of, for me, being managed by Lou Lamoriello, there's a lot of similarities there to me. He's got a real finger on his team and the pulse and maybe what the team needs. And he's not as scared to pull the trigger. And I don't know what the stats are to back it up, but it seems like every time you make a change, you seem to be able to get that coach's bump, and to get a coach's bump at this time of the season is never a bad thing. And I think from a player's standpoint, right, I think anytime you bring in a new coach, there's almost a new belief, right? Doesn't matter whether you're playing or you're not playing, but I think what it does is it just gives everyone a fresh voice and potentially a new opportunity. Whether you actually get an opportunity, it's just the thought that there could be one. So there's a certain excitement, I think, that you get when you come to the rink, when you have a new voice and a new opportunity and a new coach.
Well, and I wonder what there'll be some changes to their system, right?
Really? You think so?
They're going to tweak something, whether it's might be on a defensive zone face-off, but there's going to be some tweak. No coach is just going to come in there and say, "Oh, I'm going to do everything the previous coach did." There's no chance, right? Like, there's no chance you're going to do that. You're going to have subtle changes.
I think it's going to be minor. I don't think there's a whole lot of tweaks.
I don't think it's going to be major, but there'll be something.
Yeah, but I think that belief and that confidence. I mean, you look at the Oilers, like how much have they really changed in the last little while? As much as it's the confidence.
Well, their whole defensive structure has changed in their own zone.
But it doesn't matter. But when you feel good about your game and you're confident in yourself, and then you build some confidence in your team, and then obviously your goalie's playing well, it's just a different feeling when you're playing, right? There's a certain belief, I think, the Oilers and guys play with when you're feeling good about it. I think it fills some holes and some voids that, were there. And so I at this, for sure, there could be some subtle changes, but I don't think it's going to be as much as maybe some people think.
Yeah, I'm not saying a major change, but they're going to change some things, because you've had the worst shooting percentage in the NHL for 30 games. You're going to change something in the offensive zone, and say, whether it's, okay, guys, we're going to try to more cycle low from below the goal line or something.
I would say the simplicity of the game, right? To just
Sure.
low to high, less passing, let's get pucks to the net, and let's get guys going to the net, and let's play hard hockey. I mean, when you have anyone plays with that simplicity to their game and just is prepared to play in the trenches and play hard, it just opens up other areas and opens up opportunity for all your skilled guys. So, you know what? I don't know Cassidy. I think he was, obviously a hard coach. The only thing that surprised me is that he was a hard coach. Now you're bringing in someone that's naturally, has the reputation of being a hard guy. But, this is a real opportunity, I think, for John Tortorella to kind of, I wasn't sure if he was going to get another opportunity. So I'm kind of interested to see how he handles himself, right? What has he learned?
Well, I don't think he can change. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Torts is going to be Torts. It's not a great situation. Like he's on an 8-game tryout plus playoffs, right?
Yeah. What was his contract?
No, that's his contract.
Is that his contract?
It's the end of this year.
Is perfect. That's amazing. Like this is just a win-win. Like that Kelly McCrimmon, like I said, I mean, it's brilliant. Bring a guy in, potentially get a coach bump, inject some enthusiasm, and he'll do that. Right? He'll do that. That's a great call, I think, for Vegas.
Hey, Gregor, what about Vegas expected goals and PDO ranks since the Olympics? Is it possible they're not as bad as a coach firing reflects? It's 30 games. Right? And I always tell people, when you have to relate to expected goals, well, they're expected to score this many. It's 30 games. If you want to do expected goals over 10 games, 15, maybe. It's 30 games. They haven't scored. Right? Your save percentage, it could be on the goalie some games. And then on the other games, it's defensive breakdowns. Like you are who you are. Now, is the team the second worst team in the NHL? I wouldn't think so, but because that's what they've been for 30 games, right? And actually the second worst team since the Olympic break, and over their last 30 games, they're the 5th worst team in the NHL. Like that's a significant period of time, right? That's almost the season's what? They played 74 games, so they're talking over 40% of their season. So I look at Vegas and say, hey, they got to be better. Can some guys play better than they have been? 100%. We are going to have Kevin Woodley on the show right now. And the thing is, Vegas's expected goals against ranks pretty good compared to what their actual goals against are. So part of that is on goaltending for sure. I think with Cassidy, like with coaches sometimes, to me, this firing tells me they're going to fire him this summer anyway. Right? Because they were having doubts and then they said, okay, let's just do it. Because it can't get any worse. Like literally, it can't get any worse. The only team worse than them is the team they're playing tonight, the Vancouver Canucks. So they could say that it can't get any worse. So if all of a sudden they flame out in the first round, they're going to like, well, we flamed out without Bruce, or we thought we were going to flame out with him. So let's see if this can suddenly make us better.
So do you think that Knobloch, do you think there was, I kind of felt like with the Oilers in Utah and then with the way McDavid and his interviews and the way they were trending and playing, do you think there was a chance that this could have happened in Edmonton?
They would have had to go on an extended, like Knobloch's been in the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. Like you don't need to have, like I see all these people texting, oh, the Oilers should get Cassie. Why? Right? They're all, get Pete DeBoer. You mean the coach that Knobloch beat 2 years in a row? Why is he better? Why? Because he's different. That's all it is. But why is he better? We've seen it in the history of the game. Right? Coaches who win Stanley Cups. How many of them win a Stanley Cup on another team? None in the modern era. You got to go back to like Dick Irving Sr., for goodness sakes. So you want to get Bruce Cassidy? Great. Basically, statistically, you're saying you're not going to win a Stanley Cup. And honestly, I don't see why. I thought against Dallas this past year, Knobloch completely outcoached DeBoer in the matchup department. So why would I go get the guy that I just beat twice?
It's not that I think someone is better necessarily than it's just a different voice, a different like.
But do you think the Oilers needed? They just brought in a different voice and Coffee again.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm just curious to see. I mean, I felt like, after that Tampa Bay loss and a little bit of the frustration and the way the team was playing, I kind of felt like I was like, man, there could be potentially a coaching change. I thought if there was, I wouldn't have been surprised by it. And it has nothing to do with Knobloch being a better coach or someone bringing in someone better. It was just, to me, was like, man, they might need a new voice. So curious to see what your thoughts were.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Edmonton just wasn't playing very well. We'd watch them. They'd have 2 really good games, then fall off. That's not always coaching. Like the players play the game. And look, hey, they played 3 good games last week. Now, did the coach magically motivate them better? No, they decided to commit to the system that the coach is trying to implement. right? At the end of the day, you need good players. I can see over time, especially when you're a really hard coach on players, you have a shorter shelf life because guys eventually get sick of the just jarring at you.
It goes both ways.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah, it can go both ways, sure.
Yeah,
right?
I think you probably have a soft coach. You get rid of him, you bring a hard coach in.
Yeah.
Right? You get a hard coach, bring a soft coach in.
But sometimes a good coach, you can just keep a good coach, right? Like, I think sometimes they want to change. Lots of teams change coaches. It doesn't lead to much more success. It just leads to the same. Quick break. Kevin Woodley joins us next in the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Day or night, tasting just the right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need, Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks, ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com. Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers fans, season seats have never been easier. Sign up for first access to full, half, and quarter seats starting at only $28 per week by visiting edmontonoilers.com/season seats.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
228. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. As always, brought to you by playalberta.ca, your one-stop shop. Casino, live dealer, lottery, instance, and sports all in one place at playalberta.ca. Also, you can check out the Jason Gregor Show odds boost. We got some NHL games tonight. And, of course, little Blue Jays. And they're going to start the season 4-0. Glad he's due for a home run, isn't he? Come on. Got to be. We'll see. Now, let's get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by the Spruce Grove Saints and the Saints playoffs. Get in on the action. You get your tickets at sgsaints.ca as their playoffs begin this week. Should be a lot of, man, playoff. I don't care what level you're at. Playoffs are awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. Heck, at U13, I noticed a difference in the intensity of kids. It just, everything ratchets up a little bit more. So you got the BCHL, well, the junior Bs just wrapped up. You got AJHL, you got BCHL. WHL started this past weekend. NHL, we're about 3 weeks away from playoffs starting in the NHL. Well, actually, technically, what's the date today? The 30th of March. Playoffs start on the 18th. So, yeah, rock and roll.
I was at a junior B game last night in Sherwood Park, packed. Like, just I couldn't believe how many people. Like, just people love playoff hockey.
Warrenville and Sherwood Park. Who won last night?
Sherwood Park.
Sherwood Park.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. The jungle, man. I love it. That's pretty good rivalry, man.
It was good hockey too.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, great hockey. I mean, I had a connection to a lot of the kids that were there, but I enjoyed myself. It was fun. The place was buzzing. You know, that just goes to show, like, if you're a junior team, have local kids on your team if you want to get
that was game 7 last night, right? And the Knights won 4-3.
Yeah.
So congratulations. So now they go to provincials.
Yeah.
That was a heck of a series too. Like it. Awesome. Let's get to Kevin Woodley now from Ingo Magazine, NHL.com. Woodley, how you doing?
I'm good. Not as good as you guys. I haven't watched any playoff hockey yet, so I need to find a local rink and.
Well, yeah, dude, you better go check out some BCHL or something, because you sure ain't watching any NHL playoff hockey this year in Vancouver. That's for sure.
I'm used to that.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts on, do you think a coaching change can help the goals against of the Vegas Golden Knights?
Yeah, this is one I just don't know. I'm curious to see. Like, you saw Kelly McCrimmon's presser today. You heard him talk about sort of losing the fire, the edge.
Yeah.
I don't, you hope to get that back out of John Tortorella for sure, but the underlying numbers were great.
Yeah.
So does that intensity manifest itself in what way? Like getting to the net a little harder, winning some of the battles offensively that maybe you're not winning to convert some of the chances you create? Like, that's possible. Maybe the goal scoring will finally catch up with, the expected goals if they have more of that jam, more of that intensity, especially as you head into playoff season where goals become harder to come by. But on the defensive end, like for the goalies themselves, you can't. It's funny. I'm working on a piece for a playoff preview. Like, you can't try harder. It's the one position in sports where trying hard typically does not work. Like, you can't go out there and just will it to be. You have to let the game come to you. Like, we have a lot of goalie coaches that say tension is the enemy of goaltending. And what do we instinctively think of when we talk about trying harder? Like, it's that tense muscles, it's that fired up intensity. Henrik Lundqvist used to sort of thrive on intensity, and as his career evolved, he's started talking about relaxed intensity instead. So I don't know if the goalies can try harder and have more success. Freddie Anderson once told me the first few years of his career, he felt like, hey, playoffs are here. Everybody's ramping up. I got to work harder. I got to try hard. You can't. It took him years to figure that out as a goalie. Now, defensively, they've had really good underlying numbers. Is it the difference between, a guy having, everybody gives up grade A. So when they do, is there a guy with the stick on that shooter's hands now because there's a little more intensity in the defensive zone? Do they win more battles in front of their own net as well? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't expect wholesale changes because the numbers are so good. Like, it's not like Torts is coming in and going to be like, hey, we're going back to Rangers mid 2000s. We're going to collapse in front of our own net, or, whenever he was there, mid 2010s, we're going to collapse in front of our own net and have no offense because everybody's stuck in the defensive zone within 10 feet of the net when the puck's turned over. Like, I don't anticipate that. And the underlying numbers say it shouldn't happen. So I guess the question becomes, does ramping things up intensity wise change anything in terms of, the quality of the shots you're giving up? They don't give up a ton. They don't give up a ton of quality. And I think part of that is the goalies struggle with that a little bit. So I'm not sure I see a fix defensively, Jason, because I'm not sure one is needed beyond goalies need to make more saves. And I'm not sure trying harder gets here. It's like going on the first tee in a golf course. Like, do you go up there and be like, I'm just going to swing out of my ass? That's all
we do. We all do. Hey, it's first one, baby. Hit till you're happy.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, Aiden Hill doesn't get a breakfast ball, boys.
Yeah, that is very true. The Seattle Kraken come to town. This will be their sixth game of the road trip as they end off the road trip. They're still kind of in the mix. Not very. I don't know how, because they're not winning many games at all. And they've started to give up a few more goals here lately. You look at 21 goals here in their last 6. Not terrible, but about 3.5 per game. Grubauer started the last 2 games. Joey Decourt had started the 3 before. Who do you think would start tomorrow for Seattle? And have you seen anything as to why all of a sudden the uptick in goals against for the Kraken?
Yeah, no. I would expect it would be Decourt tomorrow. And the reality is, on the season as a whole, Philip Grubauer's outplayed him. But since the Olympic break, they've both kind of struggled. And frankly, in environments that are well above the NHL average. Like, they are a team that plays defense first under Lane Lambert. And they have all season. And they've struggled to score. And again, like, I feel like the layman's analysis, because I've watched a few of their games, maybe selfishly, we talked about not covering any playoff hockey here in Vancouver. Selfishly, I was kind of hoping they might get in, because that's the one team I do get to go help out with every once in a while. I covered the Kraken, their only playoff run in franchise history a couple of years ago, and there's just nothing like the Pacific Northwest in the spring when there's playoff hockey on. So I was hoping for that. It feels like, as you get to this time of year, the things that the Kraken did well to have relative success based on compared to their roster and expectations, and to be in a playoff hunt in the first place, are just the things that all the other teams start doing more intently and more intensely as we get to playoff time. Defending, taking care of your own end. I just don't know if they have another gear. Like, that's kind of the most simplistic evaluation I can give you.
Kevin, Jari obviously got in against Utah and played very well. The team played very well in front of him, blocking shots, and I thought they did a great job locking it down in the third period. I thought maybe he was going to get the next start. He didn't. Ingram's been very good. I'm becoming a big fan. Like, how confident, I guess, are you in him and his ability? I mean, he's just building belief in myself.
Well, I mean, I gave you guys the numbers last week, and both of them were kind of struggling a little bit. Jari, obviously, to an extreme degree. Like, Ingram's numbers had, started to come down a little bit. But you're right. Those last 2 games, especially, like, Vegas is a stolen win. Like, when I look at the numbers to win that game, I know it goes to overtime, but Vegas, had fewer high danger, but a higher sort of expected goals by a full goal. And so you classify that when you only give up 3 and the team generates almost 4.5, and you only generate 3, like, that's a stolen win. Like, I could do the math for you guys, but that is a stolen win for Connor Ingram in that game. And then they were a little better defensively, actually quite a bit better defensively against Anaheim in the last game, and he gets another one. The Utah game, honestly, that's their best defensive performance in the last 10 by a fairly significant margin, both in terms of expected goals against and high danger chances against. And good for them for sort of showing up in an important game and defending hard in front of Tristan Jarry, and hopefully building a little confidence. Because again, like I said last week, I think, you want to have both guys feeling as good as they can. But I'm with you, Sean. Like, I've kind of said this throughout. I think the one thing we've learned throughout this process, and maybe they could have learned it a little sooner and things might be different, is the best goalie they've got right now is Connor Ingram. And as long as you aren't asking him to be Superman, you give him a stable, predictable environment, because he really reads the game well. And in order to read the game well, you have to be able to trust what's going on in front of you. It feels like maybe he's building confidence in some of the system changes that they've made since the Olympics. His reads look sharper. He's caught out of position less often. Like he looked really good in those last 2 games. I made sure that I tuned in to the Vegas one in particular and tried to catch up on the Anaheim one. And that bodes well, right? Like if you can get them defending better over this past week and allow both goalies to build some confidence in their reads, that will go a long way. I've said it throughout. Like this team goes nowhere with their underlying defensive numbers. They've got X number of games here to sort of solidify that. Outside of that Vegas game, they've taken some strides of late. It's a matter of doing it consistently now so that you can build confidence in the reads and not have, like, oh man, like last game, I could trust my guy to be there. Where's that this game? Where's my back check? Where's my back pressure? Where's my gaps? Like I need all that so that I can confidently say, okay, I got this. My guy's got that. Right. And it's a matter of everybody being on the same page, but the consistency is what's missed this year. And that's what they need to continue building. I would argue right into the playoffs so that everybody can feel good about everybody else's game. And you don't run yourself into a situation where the goalies are playing deeper because they worried they got to pick up somebody else. And the defensemen are maybe jumping in lanes when those are shots they shouldn't be blocking because they don't trust the goalie to make the save. Like it looks like they're trending towards the team we saw the last 2 playoffs slowly. But it only matters if you stack these up over a period of several weeks, not just several games.
Kevin Woodley from Ingo Magazine, NHL.com joins us. Kevin, one team who was trying to come from they were on the inside and then they were on the outside, and now they're trying to be the racehorse coming down the stretch, and that's the Philadelphia Flyers. And, Dan Vladar has been very good. Andersson wasn't good except in his last 5 starts, Kev. What has changed all of a sudden? This guy's like on fire for Philly and giving them some really good starts to give Vladar a rest ever since February 1st.
Yeah, no. So a couple of things. One, first of all, like Dan Vladar, hat tip to him, right? Like left Calgary looking for more opportunity, wasn't going to get it behind Dustin Wolf. And I got to be honest, like I scratched my head a little bit about that decision from the Flyers standpoint because he'd had stretches. I do radio in Calgary once a week as well, and so watch their games quite closely. And he'd had stretches in Calgary where for like 4 or 5 games, he would give them like high-level NHL #1 goaltending, but consistency and the ability to stretch it beyond 3 or 4 games was an issue. He's been great all season. And, to the point where like his numbers are like, they're really, really good. Since the Olympic break, both guys are going. And like you said, the last 5 games, Sam Andersson's just like, I don't know where it came from. So I don't have an answer for you as to what's happened. I'd actually love to have a conversation with Sam Andersson. Maybe I should give their goalie coach, Kim Dillabaugh, a text message this week and see if there's, been some magic pill that he's turned out in practice to sort of get Sam on top of his game. Andersson's always been a sort of high floor questions about the ceiling guy. And I do think what you're seeing in Philly overall in this 8-1-1 run is Rick Tocchet hockey. Like when I look at the expected save percentages since the Olympics for that group, they're amongst the highest in the league. They're defending. We talk about, I take care of this and I can trust my guy to take care of that and really predictable reads. Like that's what you got in Vancouver when Rick Tocchet was the coach. Goalies that only had to worry about one half of the net, not a lot of backdoor opportunities. And for whatever reason, I don't know if it's just a reset for Andersson and the team, like they've gotten back to that identity. And Andersson's plugged into it right now. He's always been a guy who should have succeeded behind this good defensive environment, but it wasn't happening at the beginning of the season. Like it was the numbers were really bad, almost unplayable. And so good for him for straightening it out here. Again, the difference between being able to do that and being able to play a full season is what gets you paid and keeps you in the league. But this is a nice stretch for him.
Yeah, it's key. The Blackhawks, they'll come to town on Thursday. Quickly, give us a scouting report on Spencer Knight.
He's really good. There's the simplistic one. Spencer's numbers on the season, and he's continued this sort of since the Olympic break. Sorry, I was just trying to pull this up as I talked to you. But I believe the last time I checked early in the week, like if I do the full season, guys, Spencer Knight, as much as we talk about Vezina Trophy race, and I know he's not going to get votes because of where the Blackhawks are, but he's 4th in the NHL in goals saved above expected right now. The guys above him are Ilya Sorokin, who, frankly, if he doesn't get the Vezina Trophy, the GM should probably never get to vote again. Logan Thompson, who's pushing him a little bit. And then it drops off to Devin Cooley, believe it or not, in a tiny sample is actually third. And that's how good he's been in a small sample. And fourth is Spencer Knight. So Spencer's a goalie, super technically sound. You'll see it in his game. Just there's a real crispness, sharpness, efficiency in his movement. But it feels like he's let go of that a little bit this year. Like it's still there when you watch him. But there's a little more feel and flow to it. It doesn't look as, and this is a word I hate using, but it's a simplistic one that people understand. It doesn't look robotic. It doesn't look push, start, push, start, push, start. Like it's just, he's willing to go outside the box when he needs to, while still having that foundation underneath him. So he's a guy that for years I talked about having passing the eye test. Mm-hmm. Like he is goalie porn. You watch him and it's like, there's a how-to goalie video. When I watch this guy, very technically smooth, but the numbers just weren't there. And this year they finally are. So it feels like the statistics are catching up to the eye test. I know he's not going to get Vezina votes because of where the Hawks are, but he's been that good and he's stolen them some games. And, if you're the Oilers, we talked about the identity and playing to it right through to the end of the season. Like, don't overlook the Blackhawks just because Spencer Knight's in net. He gives them a chance, even on nights where they don't sometimes deserve it.
Kev, as always, buddy, good stuff. We appreciate it. We will chat with you next Monday.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. It's Kevin Woodley from InGoal Magazine and NHL.com. We'll take a quick break. We got a lot of texts to get to. We'll talk about some orders. We're going to hear from Chris Knobloch. Also, Connor Ingram, who looked based on practice today, looks like he's going to start tomorrow for the Edmonton Oilers. And Trent Frederick will not be ready to play tomorrow. So same lineup. And again, Chicago, you could see it happening. So we'll see. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodle-noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodle-noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodle-noodle.ca. Oodle-noodle.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Wilhauk game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
I can feel the blood rushing through my veins, and that's all I need to know.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Monday afternoon. How are you? Gregor, Brown, Hallie, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Kruger is running things over there. Be sure to say hi, give him a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Can always appreciate that as we keep the numbers growing, which is always good. So lots of text flying in, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Gregor, I heard you say Frederick. When is he going to return? Well, he won't play tomorrow. Dan, you could see him Thursday. I think Thursday's probably more realistic. That was his first practice with the team today. He didn't get clearance just yet. So Thursday, maybe, probably Saturday for sure, I would say. And, Frederick took a little extra time at practice, which is normally what happens when you come back, right? You work through the drills. The Oilers actually had their practice, and then they had their skills practice afterwards on the community rink. And it's not mandatory guys who want to go, but quite a few went over there. They're working on different things. And Frederick was out there for quite a bit extra time. And Brownie, as you know, you come back from an injury, even though he wasn't out long, you missed a few games. You just want to get as much time on the ice as you can.
Yeah, it's funny when you get into the season and you get in a routine, how much you want to just kind of keep that routine. All athletes, I think, are the same. And, as much as you sometimes dread being on the ice every day, you want to be on the ice every day, because when you miss just a day, when you get a day off and miss an ice time for whatever reason, at least myself, I always just felt somewhat kind of sluggish and was really looking forward to getting back the next day, which I guess obviously is the purpose of having the day off. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have those two sheets. It's nice to have a skill guy. Everyone likes, working on their individual skill now, and all that stuff kind of obviously benefits the player. They've come a long ways from the days where I was sitting out and you just did the old mountain climb, the old sideboards and red line, blue line, just the typical bag skate. So it's good that they have a guy working on the specific probably drills of the reason why you're probably not playing.
Yeah. And I remember Strutty talked about it. He goes, man, so I could bag skate. Like, great. You didn't work on anything else. Like, what does that do? Right?
I still can't go back and get a puck off the wall cleanly. But this red line, blue line stuff is real good.
Oh yeah. You want me to get out there for a 2-minute shift? Unreal.
It's actually harder to do drills than it is. I mean, anyone can shut their brain off and skate red line, blue line. That's actually really easy. Right. I think anytime you have a puck on your stick and you're actually doing a drill, it's twice as hard.
Hey guys, you mentioned Frederick's close. They just got Lazar back. So when they get a couple guys back, and with Szymanski's play, is Henrique the obvious choice to sit Team Dean? No, he's not. Adam Henrique is on your second unit penalty kill. They're not taking him off. Coaches, when you look at the percentage of goals that can be scored on a power play, penalty kill matters. So no, I think Adam Henrique is the veteran guy right now. He's their fourth line center. And I think when Draisaitl comes back, somebody in the top 9 is going to come down to the fourth line. I think it's probably Szymanski. So you could have a Henrique, Szymanski, Frederick line. as a fourth line. That means Lazar and Jones come out. Although I know they really like Jones's energy in limited minutes. Like what Jones is doing is he's making an impact in limited minutes, which is what I wrote about 3 weeks ago. And everyone's, the Oilers don't play their bottom guys enough. Well, I went out and did all the research and looked at all the other teams. And, shocking. The Oilers' bottom guys were basically playing the same as other teams' bottom guys. They were just doing a whole lot of nothing offensively. They just were. But now, in limited minutes, like we had somebody on the weekend, I saw a lot of people, it took Draisaitl getting hurt, and now everybody's playing more. Again, not the case. You can go see it at OilersNation.com. I wrote it. I put it up. I put the numbers for ice time minutes of the players before Draisaitl was out, and then when the players afterwards. And if you look at it, right, like McDavid's down about 30 seconds. Okay. You got some guys like Roslovic is up, Savoy's up, but they're also getting power play time now, which they weren't before. Right. So their 5-on-5 play isn't up a ton. Kasperi Kapanen's ice time is down slightly. Not a huge amount, but a bit. Jason Dickinson played 15 minutes in 6 games with Draisaitl. He's played 50 minutes a game with him. What's different, though, isn't those 6 games. So Curtis Lazar averaged 9:10 in his game. Max Jones has averaged 9:01 in his game. Trent Fredericks only played 2 of the games. He averaged 8:02. Ruby Yarventi, he played 3 games. He's averaged 8 minutes. So those are your 11th and 12th forward position spots. And Jones has played all 6 games. He's averaged 9 minutes. The other 3 played either 3 games, 2 games, and 1 game. And if you average all of their minutes, it's around 8:15. Right? So they're not playing. Now, some guys on the third line are playing a bit more, but that's because you've got now Savoy or Roslovic or Podkolzin on the power play. Right? So that's where their minutes have come up a little bit. Dickinson still at the same. And Szymanski's playing more, but Henrique's playing less. So they're both at 11. Henrique used to be at 13. Szymanski used to be at 9. Now they're both at 11.
Yeah. So I don't know if you're right. It's not necessarily the ice time. To me, it's the opportunity and when you get the ice time.
Okay.
I'm not looking at the analytics. I have no idea. And I'd be curious to know, but one thing that I see that's a little bit different is it's the opportunity that guys are getting, right? So when there's an offensive face-off, right, it's a lot of the times it's McDavid, it's the top guys. And I get that. You want them playing in the offensive zone. But what I've noticed is that the third and fourth line guys are getting out there. They're not, to me, it seems
Dickinson started. I don't know if Dickinson's had one offensive zone start.
Really?
He's pretty much starting the defensive zone all the time.
Okay, but it just
their
seems
fourth line had a few.
Right?
Yeah.
So that you're right on the minutes. It's just as a player, when you get certain opportunities, that goes a long way. Like guys know, when you're kind of just, hey, you know what, you're just out there kind of killing 40 seconds for the big boys to kind of get out there. So it's the quality and the timing of when you get out there, I think is important to build belief and to build confidence.
That's fair, but keep in mind, the fourth line Knoblauch for much of the year, the Oilers would give up a goal. He would start the fourth line at center ice right after that, saying, hey, guys, you get the momentum back for us, right? So Janmark wasn't producing. That's the difference. Now these guys are producing. Janmark was playing 13 minutes a game. Had 1 goal. Like, don't tell me he wasn't getting opportunity. He just wasn't producing. Now he had a bum shoulder.
Yeah.
So he couldn't, he was stick handle like Brownie and Struds, but that was more so due to the shoulder.
Don't compare
injury.
me to Struddy's hands. Please don't. I
that
do
is
have
true. You
hands.
do have better hands. That's fair. So, hey guys, if the Oilers have an early exit from the playoffs, Cassie will be here. Jason, now I've seen a lot of people suggest that, and I get it, but here's my question. What's the goal of the Edmonton Oilers? Is the goal to win the Stanley Cup? Yes or no? Yes. So why are you going to bring in a coach who's won a Stanley Cup elsewhere when no coach in the modern era has ever won on 2 teams? I'm just playing the odds here. We're talking 50, 60 years. No coach has done it. Why? Because it's really hard. And it's even harder to take what you did in Vegas or Florida or wherever you won and bring it somewhere else. No one's done it in 50 plus years. But everybody's out there like, oh, got to bring in Cassidy. And I'm like, why? Why? You think that Bruce Cassidy, because he won someplace, is going to win in Edmonton? And he's going to win it within 5 years of winning his last one? The odds tell you that's a terrible idea. If you don't think Knobloch's a coach, okay, great. Then go get a coach who hasn't won. Because that's basically what history is telling us here. That's what history is telling us. Coaches don't win a second cup with a different organization in the modern era. Doesn't happen.
I don't know if I'm looking at it that way. If you've won and you're a winner and you obviously know how to win.
But Brown, you know how to win in that organization. It doesn't translate to winning elsewhere.
100%. But I think when you bring in someone with experience and that has won, I mean, they come across different. It's better. They have the experience.
But it doesn't lead to you winning.
You're not going to guarantee anything.
I know. But no. I'm guaranteeing you have no chance to win because coach in the modern era has never done it.
I wouldn't be scared to do it. I wouldn't be
okay, but why would you get rid of Knobloch? You've
I'm not saying
Stanley Cups.
Yeah, he's brought you there.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually he's going to get fired. I mean, they're all hired
eventually.
fired.
Sure,
I mean, his
don't
message and everything about him.
But do you think coaching has been the problem in Edmonton this year?
No, but it's just that's the easiest. You can't change out a whole team of players. It's just the easiest thing to do is to bring in a coach. It's just that's just what happens. I think that sometimes the coach's message, just everything about the environment just needs to change. And obviously, it doesn't have to do with how good a coach is. It's just they're the guy to go.
Oh no, I don't discount that. I'm not discounting. If people think they want to change a coach, go change the coach. I have no issue with that. I'm saying I'm just going off of history. And there's a reason why. And you know why it is? Because what you did and what buttons you pushed to win here in Pool A, you got a whole different group of players. And how you coached to win that team worked really well with that team. And you can't just take everything you had here because the players you have here are different. He's never coached McDavid or Draisaitl before, right? It's different. It just is. You can't say, well, he had success coaching Vegas, right? Good coach for that group. Doesn't mean that coach will have the same success. And history tells us it doesn't.
So much of it is the relationship because the details are the details, right? Everyone can, coaches are so good at, the detail of the game. It really just comes down to your ability to relate and the relationships that you can create and the trust you can build.
Yeah. I don't think it gets you much closer to winning. That's all I'm saying. I think it's change for change. No problem.
I thought it was close. Obviously I have no idea. I felt like that Utah game to me with the direction and the vibe and the feel that I was just getting from watching them play and just watching, the interviews. And I felt I wouldn't have been surprised if there would have been a change and not because Knobloch is a bad coach. I just felt like, to me, it was like getting close. This is a team that, like Vegas, and their window is right now, and they have to win. And I give a lot of credit to the Vegas GM there, McCorman, that it's right now, and he has a standard, obviously, that is very high, and his ability to, like I said, Lou Lamoriello, he has a real finger on the pulse of his team, and I give him a lot of credit for pulling the trigger. Because these you don't have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. They're not always going to be here, right? This is a gift, and we got to take advantage. It would have been we got to take advantage of that because the window's closing.
Yeah, I would argue that coaching is one thing. Make better player decision moves. That's going to impact it more. That's just me. That's where I'll sit on.
But that's where certain coaches aren't scared. Like, look at
no. I'm talking coaches. I'm talking the management and the players you brought in, and the players you put out. That's what I'm talking. Right? Like the coach can only coach the players you have.
Yeah, but
right.
I think there could have been a little bit of tough love early in the season with certain players. There could have been Janmark, like you said. I don't know how.
Well, he was injured. Like the reason the coach played him was because
that's just one example. But I think that's what coaches. The good coaches aren't scared to make those tough decisions. Just like I'd say Quinville was the latest for me as far as McTavish there, right? Young superstar, sat him out a couple games. Like I think that's important. That's a sign of a healthy team.
Yeah, I don't discount that, right? Knobloch's also the coach who did bench Draisaitl, right? Like he's made some tough moves at times. So I'm not saying that Chris Knobloch is do all in. I just think becomes too easy to want to blame a coach. If your makeup of your team isn't good enough, I've never seen a coach take a team. Like the Oilers I don't think the Oilers lost to Florida last year because of coaching. They did. Florida had a better team. They had a deeper team. They had a healthier team.
I think what's wrong with the makeup of this team? It's a good team.
Yeah, it's a good team now. Like getting Murphy and Dickinson. Like, Matt, look how much better your coach, the system you want to play when you have players who can play the system, magically looks better. Right? If you didn't have Murphy and Dickinson, do you think the team's as good as they were?
No, but I think there could have been some decisions earlier in the season with certain players on maybe taking away ice time, giving opportunity to others.
Okay, well, we'll discuss which ones because I have a guess on who you think when we return on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
There's 5 games tonight in the NHL. Penguins and Islanders. Abs host the Flames. Canucks taking on the Golden Knights. The Ducks hosting the Leafs and the Blues in San Jose. In the majors, the 3-0 Jays take on the 0-3 Rockies. First pitch 5:07. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM radio feed. Elsewhere, Royals up on the Twins 2-1 tonight. You got the Pirates and the Reds. Phillies host the Nationals. Angels up against the Cubbies. The Brewers host the Rays. Dodgers, Guardians, Tigers, Diamondbacks, and the Mariners meeting the New York Yankees in the association. Sixers travel to Miami. Jazz host the Cavs. Got the Pistons and the Thunder and the Lakers up against the Wizards. March Madness women's bracket. You got elite action tonight from Fort Worth. Number 1 Texas battles number 2 Michigan, and number 1 South Carolina taking on TCU. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Tyson Shuskowicz of Blue Jays Nation and Ken Bulki of Sinbin Vegas. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino
games, a magnificent
betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all.
Afternoon,
way to play.
Monday.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Oodle Noodle Origins. In 1864, Francis Oodle took over his dying father's business as a leatherman. He was quite proficient,
Sports
but
1440.
his heart was never truly in the trade. After his father's death, Oodle met a cocksure young man named Vladimir Nudel, who was a trailblazer in the popular new art of food boxes. They formed a partnership and aimed to ply their trade in the new world. At Ellis Island, Nudel was renamed David Noodle, and henceforth, the franchise has been known as Oodle Noodle.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks.
And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our number one selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf, GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.308. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Sean Brown, Sports 1440. Some of you are wondering, hey, what about Scotty Bowman? Yes, Scotty Bowman, but he didn't win both his cups with franchises when I called the modern era, when the league expanded. The league's easier when you have 12 teams and, you're in the, like Scotty Bowman when he started, St. Louis, you had all the expansion teams in one side. And that's why they got to the final every year and lost. But they were never the second best team, but they were the best team out of the expansion teams for the first 5 years, right? Then he won with Montreal, no question, dominant team. But now you have a league when you went to 21 players, now you go up to 32. The odds are it's just way harder, right? Number one. So that's what I talk about for me. And it's not a ton of coaches that came close. Like you have guys, look at Paul Maurice. Look at how many stops he had before he won. Right now, John Cooper, only coach in Tampa. He's won 2 cups first time. But yeah, it's rare for sure to be a first-time coach. But so go find a coach maybe who's coached elsewhere who hasn't won. That might be a better odds. If you're just playing the odds, if you're a fan of the odds, at PlayAlberta.ca, that's the odds I would do. I'm not, Bruce Cassidy. I'm not sold Bruce Cassidy's the right coach for Edmonton, if I'm just being honest. So we'll have to see. I don't think it's an option right now. But I do find it funny. Everyone's like, Pete DeBoer. I'm like, the coach that Knobloch beat 2 years in a row. But suddenly Pete DeBoer is a way better coach. I'm kind of like, why? I don't get it. So,
man, I'm not. He's a good coach.
I don't discount that he's a good coach.
Yeah,
but is he a better coach? Because why are you firing the coach? Unless you think he's getting a better coach. Right?
I think you fire the coach when you feel like the message is not being received. That has nothing to do with it being good or bad.
Sure,
it's just let's get a change.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that suggests the message here hasn't been received. If anything, I think the message is being received quite well because now they're playing better again as the games start to matter more. So we'll see. Now let's go in the room. Brought to you by Action Electrical. You can take action on your savings. You've been thinking about it. Now the sun's starting to come out. Oh, we're going to get double degrees soon here. It'll be great on the positive side, that is. And you want some solar for your home or your business? ActionElectrical.net. They can walk you through the process and get you all sorts of savings. And we'll go in the room today, talk about the Toronto Blue Jays, who had their first series sweep of the season, which included a franchise record 50 strikeouts by their pitching staff in the 3-game set. Their starting pitchers combined for 32 Ks in their first 3 games. Lauer, what was he doing? He only got 9. I'm being somewhat facetious when I say that. Tyson Chiskowicz joins us from Blue Jays Nation. And Tyson, obviously, an entertaining start to the season for the Blue Jays. They got pitchers who can pitch everywhere. Obviously they can score runs when needed, but give me your thoughts coming into this Colorado series, and what's your expectations on the man taking the mound tonight in Mr. Ponce, who will make his debut for the Jays wearing number 66?
Yeah, I think the expectations are just keep the pedal down, and there's no reason the Jays can't be 6-0 when this series is over, right? Like on paper, the Jays are a better matchup on the field. They should be taking this just at the same level, right? Like the Athletics are a better team. The Rockies are kind of expected to be in the basement of the NL West, and it just kind of starts today with Ponce, right? And he's just an intriguing arm because of, in the big leagues, his experience is, up and down, wasn't really the kind of the pitcher he is now, and then goes overseas, struggles a little bit, and then really found himself last year in Korea, right? So I think tonight with Ponce, just getting on the mound there and just, letting it fly like you did in Korea, right? Like just telling yourself there's nothing different. Obviously the players are a little bit different talent-wise, but when it comes to, just executing your pitches and, there's a reason the Jays are paying this guy $10 million a year, and I think he's going to go out there and kind of show everyone why, what he learned in Korea can translate back over here.
So I'm so excited for the Jays, obviously with, the early success that they're having, but it is early. Hoffman gave up a home run late in an inning. Obviously his next outing, he did very good. Where are you at with your confidence level? Is there any concerns? I know he had some moments last year as well, but for him being the closer, is there any concerns?
I wouldn't be pressing the panic button too much right now. Obviously, giving up the home run and with the way the game got tied, right? Like that's not what you want. But the pitch that Shane Langeliers hit for a home run was like a really good pitch, right? Like it wasn't like he threw it right down the middle and that was a mistake. It was like, no, like just sometimes opponent beats you and you got to take it, right? And unfortunately for Hoffman, it was that scenario and just comes in the ninth inning when the game's got a difference of 2-1, right? So I wouldn't be pressing the panic button right now. I think you still give him that room to kind of keep making those save situations, high pressure situations, right? And I think John Schneider even mentioned, just there were times last year where he was super gassed. They were using him so often, right? And I think that's more of a testament to the position side of it, right? Like we've seen the Jays, how many comeback wins they had last year, right? Like it was just so many times that they needed to rely on some of these, back end arms. And I think Hoffman kind of got, a bit of a short end of the stick. He was up, when he was good, he was really good. But when he was bad, he was really bad, right? So it was just finding that middle ground. And it's hard to see within a couple of days here, right? Like for someone in that type of position, right? If, in a couple of weeks from now, he's got a couple more blown saves and you got Jimmy Garcia coming back in, maybe you start having those conversations, but I don't see why John Schneider's not going to take him out of that spot right now. And I don't expect that to change for the next little bit. But again, if the results start to trend in the wrong direction, then it's something that you're going to have to look into.
You look at a few guys, the newcomers come over. Sanchez gets a home run, has 3 RBIs. Okamoto has his first home run, batting like 333. Early on, I know it's only 3 games, but any player will tell you want to make an impact early on, kind of feel part of the team, and both those guys did that.
Yeah, Okamoto was the jewel of the position player signings this offseason, right? And I think a lot of fans were pretty hung up on Bo Bichette leaving, and rightfully so, right? For, the type of player he was, all the things he did in the uniform. But I think what makes Okamoto really interesting is there's just so much of unknown when it comes to, a player of his type of caliber. Like he played when he overseas in Japan, he played for the equivalent of the New York Yankees, right? And he was like their captain. He was the go-to guy, superstar, if you will. And there's always going to be the risk, right? Does a player find success when they come from a high level like that, whether it be Korea, Japan, even in Cuba, right? In their highest league there, right? And they find that success in the major leagues. And it's not always a guarantee, right? And that was the same thing with Okamoto, right? Like, can he hit the velocity that, big league pitchers have? Is he going to be, striking out left, right, and center? It's going to be really touch and go. And I think when you look at kind of this first opening series, he's really ticked off a lot of boxes that you were kind of concerned about, at least from the start, right? Obviously, with it being 162 games, things can go up and down, and rightfully so, they will, right? Like, no player ever usually is, steadfast, top of the line, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout in his prime kind of guy. And I think with Okamoto, you're happy to see the things that he's doing. He's taking some really strong at bats. I think he's got 4 strikeouts. One of them he could have did the ABS challenge on to keep himself alive, but he didn't. And that, again, that's fine. He's had really strong at bats. He had that opposite home run the other night there, and just really shows that, his plate presence is there, and he's going to be one of their go-to players in the middle of the lineup. And then, with Sanchez, he has a job to do, right? He's a left-handed hitting guy that smokes right-handed pitching, and Jays have seen kind of in that short sample size that he's been able to do that so far. So I think they're happy with what they have right now, and it just shows kind of the depth that this roster has when it comes to trying to repeat again as the AL champions.
You touched on it. The MLB has that new challenge system, the ABS. I know it's early. What are your thoughts on that system and so far?
I think it's good. I mean, at the end of the day, umpires have a super hard job when it comes to, the outcome of a game, right? And I think, it's easy for us to criticize from the sidelines, like, why did you let a strike, right? And, and I'm guilty of it too. But at the end of the day, these guys are throwing 95 to 100. They're and then they're mixing in a 78 mile per hour curveball that, is catching the corner of the zone. And it just gets a little bit difficult, right? And I think it's good to have a system in place to keep that in place, because at the end of the day, you want the players to decide the game, right? You want a guy on the mound and a guy in the plate and, the fielders. That should be what decides it, not an umpire. Did he get the call right when the ball maybe has like an inch of the strike zone, right? Like those are tough tough decisions to make, especially in the blink of an eye. And I like that there's a system in place to hold that for accountability, because some of these veteran umpires really do struggle with it. And maybe, if there was some sort of performance rated thing, you can't option a umpire to the minors, right? But it almost seems like this maybe it will at least hold them more accountable, or at least when it comes to postseason decisions. But then it also, again, it keeps the game in the players' hands. And I think it just, whenever you have something of that capability, that's just going to make the game that much more fluid. I think you're always going to take that opportunity.
You look at the Jays, and you see their pitching staff, and hey, the first 3 starts are great. I know it's only 3 starts in a 162 game season, but you got Ponce, and then you got Scherzer as number 5, but you've also got Trey Savage, right? You got Barrios, you've got the other guy. Why am I forgetting his name? Bieber. What's the status for those 3? When do you think they're going to come back? Like, is it late April, mid-April, later? What do you think?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So John Schneider gets asked this question all the time. And basically, he said today that they're all kind of at little different spots here when it comes to who's ready to go and who's not, right? And so Barrios and Garcia, they stayed in Florida for the weekend, right? They weren't up for opening day. They stayed down in Florida to kind of keep getting work in. They're going to be throwing tomorrow. 2 different bullpens, and then Barrios is doing some BP on Saturday, so coming up on the Saturday now. Last time they threw bullpens, Barrios did 25 pitches, Garcia did 22, and they both were feeling good. So again, they're kind of further along than Bieber, at least right now. Savage, he's slated to pitch a 3-inning game on Fridays, 45 sim game, if you will. So he's going to get to 45 pitches. He's probably, except for Garcia, because again, he's with the reliever aspect. Garcia and Savage are kind of furthest along right now. And then Shane Bieber's throwing off the mound on Saturday. So he's kind of bringing up the tail end of it, if you will, coming back from the arm fatigue that he had, right? So if you had a layered aspect, it's Garcia, Savage, they're kind of coming up next year, and then Barrios and Bieber to kind of round it out.
Yeah. So what do you think happens then? Does Lauer go to the bullpen? Like, when these guys get healthy, what are they going to do with their pitchers? They're going to go a 6-man rotation.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what they're going to do, mostly because, if Lauer came out and struggled, it'd be like, it makes the decision that much easier, right? Like when one guy comes back, this is how they're going to manage it. But he didn't, right? He came out and shoved in his outing. And I think at the end of the day, the Jays are going to have to kind of make some hard decisions, right? Like one or 2 pitchers are going to have to go to the bullpen. Someone might have to get moved when externally, whether that's maybe Barrios, right? They tried to trade him in the offseason and it didn't happen, right? Didn't come to fruition. And I don't know what's going to happen with this team, mostly because you're encountering a problem that's good to have, right? Like, it's good to have that much pitching available. You always get careful when it comes to a 6-man rotation, because hypothetically speaking, you move to that, you move let's say Lauer goes to the bullpen and you have two starters that struggle back to back, like then you put yourself in just such a spot to be in as a manager when it comes to your bullpen, right? So there's always going to be those pros and cons, especially since the Jays schedule kind of has some breaks in there where you don't really need a 6-man rotation, because then at the same time you're going, well, Gausman likes to pitch on 4 days rests, or X person likes to do this, right? Starting pitchers are a different breed. They have their set routines. They do not like to you don't talk to Max Scherzer on start days, and there's a reason, right? So I think when it comes to with the Jays, it's just going to be a day at a time, right? And maybe Ponce comes out today and struggles, and he struggles over his next couple, and when Savage is ready to go, he comes, right? There's so many different options this Jays team can kind of work with, but I could say what's going to happen right today when these players are back, I don't think even John Schneider knows what to do with that right now. And again, that's a good thing to have. It's just when you have so much of that depth to play with, you just don't want to pigeonhole yourself right off the gate.
You talk about, everyone wants to get off to a good start with their new team, and former Blue Jay Bo Bichette is with the Yankees there, and it's probably not the start that he was hoping for, and it seems like the fans are kind of booing, but I don't even know what the question is, but it's got to be a little bit different playing in front of the Blue Jay fans and New York fans.
Yeah, Bichette he's with the Mets there. Yeah, he it's a different territory, right? Like the Blue Jays media scene, they'll hold you accountable, like when it comes to making plays and whatnot. And the Blue Jays beat writers are a really good group of people. They're probably not on the same level as like the hockey sphere. I think the hockey sphere is a lot more like in depth in Toronto when it comes to the holding people accountable, et cetera, right? But New York is a different animal, and Bichette's just kind of experiencing that this weekend, right? Like this is the same city for on the Yankee side of it. They booed Aaron Judge, right? Like, and he's one of the better players in the league when it comes down to it at the end of the day, right? Like it's a very emotional sport. There's a lot of ups and downs that come with it. Again, it's 162 games. I expect Bo Bichette to kind of find his rhythm, right? We've seen him start slow before and really find a groove as the season wears on. And just for him this time, it's in a different atmosphere. It's for one where the fans are going to hold you accountable. They're going to let you know that they're not happy with your performance. And if anyone, had spoken to Bo Bichette, he is one of his own biggest self-critics, right? Like he shows up every day, gives 110%. He's always working. He's always moving. He's always doing something. And now he's just doing it under a bit more of a microscope in terms of media coverage, in terms of the fan base, right? So I think it's just with him, he'll figure it out. He'll become the player that, the Blue Jays fans, used to know and love. And at the end of the day, it's just in him to figure it out, right? And wish him the best, obviously, because of what he did in Toronto. And hopefully when they play the Mets later this year, maybe he's not as good, just so it kind of helps the Jays out. But it's just a new atmosphere for him, and he'll get there.
Appreciate this, Tyson. Enjoy it. Should be a week where the Jays have some success. And then a week today, the Dodgers come to town, which I'm sure will be a big game for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's Tyson Shishkowicz joining us from Toronto, where the Jays, not a real surprise, they sweep the Yankees. Surprised they have 50 strikeouts. Let's be honest here. That's not something you see every day. So Ponce could have a really good round, but he's like, this guy's only got 6 Ks, right? Now you're all spoiled. You're expecting the guy to, think about the fact that Gausman struck out the side in his first inning, and then Lauer comes in and strikes out the side in his first inning. That's pretty wild. That was a pretty impressive starting pitching rotation with 32 Ks in their 3 games. And the guys aren't even going deep yet in games, right? Like you're at 5 1/3, 6 innings. That's it so far. It's early. I understand why they're doing it, but the Jays pitching looks pretty good. Now, Ken Bulki is going to join us next. Ken's been outlining John Tortorella. Ken was the one who put out there, here's John Tortorella's numbers in his first 10 games with the new team. It's won like 30% of the games. It's not great, but it's a new team. What difference will Tortorella make for Vegas? Should Oilers fans be concerned? We'll find out next on The Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit? No credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meat, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
But on the rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, bingo tunes.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best live DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're on the rocks.
On the rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
5-time Junior Hockey League champions, the Spruce Grove Saints, are excited to be back on the ice at the brand new Thompson Family Arena. Be part of the action and enjoy some of the best junior hockey Canada has to offer by experiencing a Saints game for your next outing. Tickets range from $10 to $17 with free parking and some of the best food and drink specials in town. For more information on tickets and how you can become a partner, go to sgsaints.ca.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier. Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student. Au contraire, mon frère. Je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets. Ah, oui, right this way. For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
That's 2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at KumaOutdoorGear.com.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also a variety of excellent and non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through game day, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Of course, hey, every day's game day. Of course, the Jays tonight. You got some interesting and big games in the National Hockey League. Of course, if you missed it, it's a wild weekend in the NHL from a coach firing with only 8 games to go. And we're going to get to that in a second. John Tortorella will make his coaching debut for Vegas tonight against the only team that's been worse than Vegas since the Olympic break, the Vancouver Canucks. Also, you have a massive game in New York between the Penguins and the Islanders. You have a Toronto Radko Gudas. I don't care if I'm hurt, I'm playing. I want to honor myself and fight someone for my cheap shot.
Love it.
You have St. Louis. Suddenly, the St. Louis Blues are kind of in the playoff. They win tonight. They'll be within 2 points of Nashville with the game in hand. So they're playing the San Jose Sharks. The Sharks, hey, whoever wins this game tonight will be 2 back of Nashville and either 1 or 2 games in hand. So they still think that they're in there. So some big games in the National Hockey League. Tonight, as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's. You got a few days left. If there's any left in Sherwood Park, because I know Brownie just shops there all the time. He loves collectibles. The 7 mini sticks with every Star Sticks meal. David Matthews. He's waiting. He wants Montembeau. If you have one, he's willing to trade. You can get yours right now only at McDonald's. And the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday make the change. Bruce Cassidy out. John Tortorella's in. And today, the GM spoke, the coach spoke, the players spoke. And I've been following our next guest from Sinbin Vegas, Ken Bulki, on X. And Ken, a lot of the players and everybody, it sounds like, well, we weren't playing with enough emotion. Why is that? Why is that on the coach? Like, how is the coach supposed to get his whole team to play with more emotion?
That's what I'm asking. That's exactly the question I've had. Spirit is the word they've been saying. We just didn't have enough spirit. I'm like, well, why didn't you just find that yesterday without firing the guy that won the cup 3 years ago? I just don't understand. Like, everything they said today is, we're not making any changes. Bruce was a great coach. Everything that was done was perfectly fine. We just need to care more. And I'm like, what? All right. Good luck with that one.
So it is interesting. Like, they're basically saying we didn't play hard enough for our previous coach at the end of it.
Yeah. We need more spirit. We need more energy. And what also was odd was the captain, Mark Stone, said, well, if you watch the game against Edmonton, we did have the spirit. We did have the energy. That was a rough game. And then Washington, we didn't have it until we had a couple guys pull together and score a couple shorthanded goals. And then we were back in it. They lost both of those games. So even when they had the spirit, they're losing to the team they're about to play in the first round, it seems.
It is odd. So John Tortorella, and I know, Ken, I appreciate it. You put out actually his record with teams in his first 10 games, and it wasn't necessarily pretty. So now I know that that doesn't guarantee that these 8 games they won't have success. Like, he's got the best possible first game matchup he could ask for. The only team worse than them, the Vancouver Canucks. But what do you think Tortorella is going to add that might be slightly different than Cassidy added?
Absolutely nothing. I don't understand at all what he's even supposed to add. He said today he has barely even watched the Golden Knights play, which is fine. He's been working for ESPN. They've only been on ESPN a few times. He should be focused on the games that were there. And he basically said he's been spending a lot of time writing down the names of the players on the board in his office so that he remembers who they are. So what is he supposed to do? And this is not like I'm saying that John Tortorella is a bad coach or that he shouldn't be here, any of that. I'm just saying, like, the amount of time that he has to actually do something is so unbelievably minimal that even if there are systematic changes, which he has declared very firmly, there will be none. We are not changing anything. That even if there were, how is any of that supposed to get in place? And like the energy and mentality and mindset, like, obviously that's going to be there. You're playing Abbotsford, Vancouver.
Is there a player that you think could benefit from a change like this? Maybe like a Mitch Marner. Obviously, I mean, I love the way Kelly McCrimmon, how aggressive he is. At the trade deadline, he seems to have a real finger on the pulse. But do you see this benefiting a player, or maybe not another player?
I mean, I would hope that it would bring a little bit more to Mark Stone, bring a little bit more to Jack Eichel, bring a little bit more to kind of just all the best players. Marner's an interesting one. Like, we're still getting a feel for Marner and like who he is and how he rides some of the highs and lows here. And it's 1 year. They haven't made a playoff run yet. So we don't know everything about it. knowing what we've been told from Toronto, like Marner doesn't seem like a great fit with Tortorella. Now it's a short period of time, so we'll see. But yeah, I think it really comes down to like they just need to play the way that everyone thinks they're supposed to play. But after 74 games, and you guys know this all too well up in Edmonton, after 74 games, at some point you're going to question and be like, is this actually the way they're supposed to be playing? Like, are they actually as good as what we have been told that they are supposed to be? Names on the page say they're good. Results on the ice haven't. Does a coach change with 8 games left to go change that? That's what they're hoping for.
Well, yeah, the thing in Vegas, like you look at the underlying numbers, like their defensive numbers have actually been good. Their goaltending numbers are terrible. So I could see the argument to say, hey, but unless John Tortorella is going to be like some goalie whisperer to get Adin Hill to play better, right? Like that's the one thing. Now Hill, he's had some games where he's been okay, Ken, but you watch every game. Like when you look at Adin Hill's game specifically, what's been the main area of concern? Is it simply like Kevin Woodley talks about, some goalies struggle by not getting a lot of shots, and Vegas doesn't give up a lot of shots? Is it as simple as saying, hey, maybe we should just give a few more weak shots up to let our goalie feel the puck?
I think he's been a little behind the play this year coming off the injury. Like I thought beginning of the season, he didn't quite look like himself, and then he got injured. It was only like 6 or 7 games, and then it was a long stretch, and he came back. And they were in a weird spot when he came back. There were some injuries. It just didn't look right. And it hasn't really looked right all year, but it didn't seem good. He didn't seem like he was reading the play very well. He definitely seemed behind. Then the game before the Olympics, he was excellent. Some of the games coming out of the Olympics, he's been pretty good. Their goaltending numbers have been a lot better as of recently. The goal saved above expected since the Olympics is like basically right at level at 0. It's not good or bad, which is much different than what the overall numbers say. I guess like I'll kind of point to what you started that with in saying like the underlying numbers say they're good. The underlying numbers say this is going to turn around, that there's been a PDO problem here recently. They're like 92% in PDO in the last, 10, 15 games. And my thing is like, I don't understand how that can be the case, how all of that can be the case. All of these are good, and yet still there's a lacking of spirit, or there's a lacking of energy. And the Stanley Cup winning coach from 3 years ago has to be fired to bring this out. Like, make it make sense to me.
Yeah, no, it's fair, right? Like listening to that, and I'm listening through you, of course, because you were at the press conference. It's kind of strange. Well, we just don't have the spirit and we have the energy. And I know that, hey, playoffs come and everybody, it ratchets up, but it ratchets up for the opposition as well. And when I look at Vegas, and my one concern about Vegas is they're not overly quick team. And like Edmonton is the second fastest team in the NHL behind Colorado. And it's not just because McDavid, because if you take him off, then Edmonton's still top 7 in 22 bursts, and there's top 10 in the rest. So they're a fast team overall. I'm not sure Vegas wants an Edmonton matchup because they don't have the speed to match up to Edmonton.
And what's interesting is, of all the things that were tactically talked about, I mean, it was really, really clear at the beginning of Tortorella's press conference. We are not making changes. We are not going to make changes. The only thing he mentioned through about an 18-minute long press conference was, I think we need to play faster. And I'm sitting there in the front row in the corner like, how? Are you going to push him? Like, how does this work? I don't understand. Like, that's where, yeah, it's, do they want an Edmonton matchup? Sort of, yeah, because like Edmonton's kind of a mess too, are they not? Right? So it's like, is it the worst matchup? Compare that to like a Utah who's been playing a lot more buttoned up hockey. Compare that to even worse. If they fall below Seattle or LA, then they get Colorado. Like, that's really bad. Do I think they're a favorite against Edmonton? I do not. I especially do not, now that I don't think they have a coaching advantage anymore. I would have told you, if we had done this before the playoff series, I would have told you that Cassidy versus Knobloch, I like Cassidy in that matchup. I know he lost it last time, but I think that like tactically, I like Cassidy, and I think that gives them a little bit of an advantage. Now, not because I think Tortorella is bad, but because he hasn't been here. He hasn't had a chance to get his real fingerprints on the team. I don't see how they can have a coaching advantage in any playoff matchup anymore.
So how do you see this playing out for Tortorella? Like, he's obviously there through the end of the season. I mean, I don't know how many times he's been hired and fired, but, do you see this being a long-term thing? Is this, and maybe what does John have to do? Does he have to make any adjustments to his coaching style to get back and stay in the NHL?
Maybe I'm wrong, but do you think he can do that?
Well, I think for your sake and everyone's sake, I think having him in the game and the way, the quotes, and he's not shy.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. No, I'm just saying, he's been around for a long time. Like, we all kind of know John Tortorella. I'm going to get to know him a little bit more on a personal level now in the next couple of weeks, which should be fun. But I don't think that if they get into a game and they're having a hard time against Edmonton, that he's suddenly just going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go lovey-dovey on the players right now. Like, that's not happening. As for what happens moving forward, they've been pretty outwardly open saying it's 8 games and then the playoff run. So if that's, that's what they're saying, I'd be surprised if the long-term plan is John Tortorella. I don't know that it really, really doesn't make sense if you believe that Cassidy lost the locker room and that Cassidy was too tough on the players. It really doesn't make sense to give a year of John Tortorella next year. How is that going to go? Almost certainly worse. So I think he's here to kick him in the butt for a little while, yell, and try and get that spirit back and bring it back out of them somehow. And then we'll see what happens. I think realistically, though, he's probably just here because they had to find a scapegoat, and they picked their scapegoat being the coach, and he's the best option to fill in for 8 games and be here for as long as they can go, and then they'll reassess after they lose whenever that happens to be in the playoffs. Obviously, everything changes if they win the Cup.
Ken Bulki joins us from Vegas. Ken, how would you describe the Rasmus Andersson era in Vegas?
Getting better, I would say that. I think it started off where they were trying to kind of figure out each other. Rasmus was trying to figure out how much of my offensive game can I actually bring at 5-on-5? How risky can I be? He had played with Hanifin, but I think it's a much different scenario where they were the number one clear pair, getting 24, 25 minutes a night, getting power play time, getting penalty kill time. He's not getting power play time. He's not really going to be the offensive driver of this team when they have Eichel, Marner, Stone, Hurdle, Dorofeev. He's not expected to come in here and be great offensively. So I thought at the beginning, he's kind of trying to find his way, and he's not an elite defensive defenseman. He's not horrible, but he's not great at it. So when the offense isn't really there, or not really fully unlocked, it wasn't going to go all that well in his own end. And I think that's what happened to start. It's getting better and better and better. And I thought the last road trip was probably the best example of them really kind of saying, Rasmus, you've got to go. We need you in the offense. We need you to be the player that we traded for. You've got to go. And I thought that finally started to come, and it was getting better and better and better, but the results for the team did not really change at all. So now, coaching change, how is that going to change it? Are they still going to say, go ahead and go? Are they still going to have some issues in their own end? I would certainly not blame any of these problems on Rasmus Andersson. However, I will also tell you, as strongly as I can say, the assets that they gave up to give Rasmus Andersson have not paid off in 2025-26.
What do you think the odds are he resigns in Vegas?
99-ish%.
Wow.
I think it's pretty much already done. I think the only reason why it's not done at this point is because they can't physically do it until Alex Pietrangelo gets on LTIR for next season. They have a lot of contracts that are still there. This is something Pierre LeBrun reported on The Athletic, that apparently they can't actually sign him to that full, whatever it'll be, $7 + $8 million deal. The Golden Knights don't make these trades with that level of assets to see if it's going to work for 30 games. They had the future in mind. He's going to re-sign with the Golden Knights. I don't even think it's debatable. The only way that changes is if it goes horrifically in the next 8 games, they miss the playoffs, something changes in the front office, and now a new group comes in and says, maybe we don't want to do that. Even then, I think Rasmus stays in Vegas.
Okay. Quickly, give me your thoughts on, someone called it a little bit of a turtle race, but regardless, you got the Predators 77, the Kings 76, the Kraken 75, the Jets 74, and the Sharks and Blues 73. Who gets the final wild card spot?
They're all so bad, aren't they? Like, it's just a mess. Turtle race, pillow fights. All these names are fantastic for all of this. Well, I think Utah's going to get the first one, and I think they're going to stick in there. I'm leaning LA. I like the home games. I like the schedule. They've got 2 more against Vancouver. They're bad, though. Give me LA, but man, don't get mad at me if I'm wrong, because I have no idea.
Okay, well, it is like LA's got a decent schedule for them, but they just can't seem to find a way to score goals.
Who do you guys pick?
I'm leaning towards the St. Louis Blues.
Really?
They've got, like the Blues have been the best defensive team in the NHL by a mile since the Olympic break. They got the most points in the Western Conference. They're only allowing 1.53 goals against. And I was looking at their remaining schedule, and they don't play a lot of they play San Jose, LA, Anaheim. They do have 2 games against Colorado, but they play Chicago and they play, Utah, and Minnesota won't have anything to play for later in the year. The big game is that St. Louis-Winnipeg game, but I know it's crazy, but here's the thing. The Blues are 4 points back now, but Nashville doesn't play a game until Thursday. The Blues play San Jose and LA before then. They play them tonight and Wednesday. So their games in hand will be made up, but they could be tied with the Preds then as we head into April. Why?
And they've done it before. They did it, 7 years ago now? I mean, much different team. No Alex Pietrangelo. Golden Knights are missing him, by the way. But yeah, that's an interesting shot. It's just I feel like maybe I don't know. Sometimes when these teams get really hot, it's like inevitably it has to stop, just because that's the way hockey goes. And I feel like just the smallest stop for that, just if they have like a 2-game run where they don't play all that well at the wrong time, it's like, well, all of what happened in the first 70 games isn't good enough. You're probably right, though. Like they're playing really good. Like they're much better than people think they are. Winnipeg's playing pretty well too.
Yeah, no, they are. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if one of those 2 teams suddenly creeps in. I don't like San Jose. I don't like Seattle for sure.
Well, the Pacific Division is just awful. I mean, I guess they all get to play each other, and in theory, they can all share more of these points. That's kind of where I've been looking at from the Vegas perspective, is like, somebody has to lose, so it's like points are going to come off. But when you start to look at it, it's like, well, if San Jose and LA and all these teams share points and they go to overtime and whatever, like there are points there. And the Golden Knights, I don't know. Like they got 2 Vancouver games. They've got a Winnipeg game on the road, which is going to be awfully difficult. They've got a Calgary game here on Thursday. Like that one, I would have felt better about that one if Calgary hadn't been playing a lot better. And I know Calgary's going to want to beat these guys. Like, no doubt about it. Zach Whitecloud's going to have them fired up. So maybe that one's tough. Like, I thought 10, 11 points for Vegas. I don't think it's crazy to think they only get 8 or 9 with the 8 games left. And the door's open for literally everybody if the Golden Knights land on 88.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's fair too. So awesome, Ken. Great stuff, buddy. Enjoy the game tonight. Tortorella couldn't have asked for an easier first game opponent.
It's so perfect. So it's so perfect for him. It's like they're going to win by 8 and everyone's going to be a coach bump. They've done
it. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it.
See ya.
There you go. That's Ken Bulki joining us from Vegas. We'll take a quick break. We've got 5 questions on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold to the vents, start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a new from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
From the first face-off to the final whistle,
Sports 1440
is your home for hockey talk.
with live coverage.
Expert analysis and pre- and post-game shows.
We bring you
Closer to the game.
Tune in 24/7.
Only on Sports 1440.
Edmonton Sports Station.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
NHL Star Sticks are back in McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal, featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, Makar, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase, limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
The Brick semi-annual sale is back, with prices so low they only last until March 30th. Save up to 30% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners, up to 40% off select mattresses, and up to 30% off bedroom and dining furniture. Plus, buy more, save more, up to 15% off select major appliances. Plus, elevate your outdoors with up to 20% off outdoor furniture. Some exclusions apply. Visit thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Open your mind to saving up to 25% on select tires at Fountain Tire. Okay. Visualize mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires.
I see it.
And now, $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires.
Amazing. But how do you do this in a sidecar?
It's surprisingly spacious. Offer ends April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. Looking for a tasty lunch? Papa John's has you covered. Get a small 2-topping pizza for only $9.99 with code S999 at papajohns.ca. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
A busy Monday, some big games in the National Hockey League tonight. Man, you got to be looking at the out-of-town scoreboard every night in the NHL. It is fantastic for the next, what do we got? 20, well, no, the right 16 plus 2. We only have 18 days of regular season action left because the regular season wraps up on the 16th. So every night there's going to be some games that impact the playoffs. And tonight, Penguins, Islanders, the Golden Knights, Canucks, I guess a little bit. The Ducks and Maple Leafs, Oilers fans will be watching that. The Gudas fight. But honestly, who does Toronto have that's even going to fight them? So, I'm sure they have some guys, but none to be scary about. And then the Sharks and the Blues, massive game. One of those teams wants to win in regulation and get closer to the Nashville Predators for the final wildcard spot. Let's get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick, where saving you more, that's what they do at The Brick and thebrick.com. As tonight is their last night for the semi-annual sale. Price is so low, they're only done for tonight. 35% off coffee tables, 40% off select mattresses, and buy a 65-inch TV and you get a $50 instant soundbar credit right now at The Brick and thebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. In the Oilers' second 3-game winning streak of this season, what would you say is the biggest change you've seen in their play?
For me, it's just a little bit more connected, a little bit more confidence, which leads to better anticipation. So I'll go with
that. Good question, Cons. Well, to me, it's just a commitment to consistency in their own zone. That's, I think they're winning more races to pucks all over the place. I don't see the Oilers also. They've limited the bad turnovers.
Question number 2, we're going to change it because you touched on it there. Radko Gudas, rematch with the Leafs. Obviously, we know what happened last time they played. What do you think the fallout will be tonight?
He's going to fight somebody in his first shift of the game. He wants to get it over with, and then they kind of move on. This would be a night if I was the Maple Leafs. Honestly, so you've got Max Domi, Steven Lorenz, he's not that tough. Dakota Joshua, who's not a great fighter. I guess Pizzetta is the guy who but honestly, Jake McCabe, they don't really have anybody who's a big fighter. If I'm Gudas, I'm hey, anybody can catch you on any given day in a fight. So you always respect anyone if you're going to fight them. But it's not like he's got to go up against a super, even a light heavyweight in this one. So good for him. And I respect everything he said right from the get-go. I didn't like what I did. He's banged up, and I would expect it's one fight and that's it.
You sound so disappointed. I'm so excited to watch the first 5 minutes of that game. It's good. This is good for hockey.
Yeah, no, but I guess if I'm Toronto, fighting one guy, I'd run him every shift. That's what I would do. Who cares if you lose the game? Your organization wants you to lose the game.
Yeah, make it a hard night on him. But
yes.
Gudas, I love the way he plays. He's a little bit dirty. I love the fact that he's owning it. And I agree with you. I mean, I would rather fight if I'm Gudas this year because they're going to bring in a heavy or someone a little bit tougher or should next year. So yeah, get it over with. We slip on a banana peel if it's not going your way anyway.
Question number 3, just talk some Golden Knights. How do you guys predict the regular season and postseason goes with the Torts era?
I think it's going to go good. I love, like I said, what Kelly McCrimmon's doing, the belief that he has in this team, the standard that he has. I think bringing in a new coach is, with the coach's bump, a new voice. I know it brings in a whole new belief in everybody. So I think it's a great job. And the fact that he doesn't have anything beyond this, so it's good for him. That's a great call.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference, honestly. I think Vegas is a solid team. I don't think they're a great team. I don't think they're an overly quick team. And now, can they play? You can play faster. Dallas isn't an overly fast team, but they move the puck very well. So I guess, that's what Vegas is going to do. But hey, the start's going to go great. I think Vegas wins by 3 or 4 goals tonight because they're not playing a very good team. And that could give us some confidence, and confidence is everything in sports. But I don't know if this is going to lead to Vegas. Is Vegas going to beat Edmonton? I'd be surprised. I think Edmonton's a better team.
Yeah, but you know what? There's no easy games, and Vancouver needs something to play for, needs some motivation to play for. So I don't think that it's a guaranteed win any game, but I just, the mindset that I think I have with the training, with the changes that I've been through, it's just whether you're, a first line or a fourth line, that, coming to the rink and knowing that, and whether you actually get it or not, but the belief that you can get something or might be able to get a little bit more, I think is something that when you make this change that Kelly McCrinnon's hoping for.
Question number 4. On Saturday, Padres closer Mason Miller entered the game with Korn's Blind as his intro song. For the people of my age that maybe like the genre, thought it was pretty cool. If you guys were closers, what would your entrance song be?
I thought that was, who's the guy in LA that comes out to, they have the trumpet. But now they actually have a lady that's actually, doing the trumpet live. I think that is probably the best intro I've seen.
With the Mets last year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd maybe come out with maybe a little DMX or something.
Man, that's a really good question. There's a lot, like Enter Sandman was so good for so long. It was outstanding. But there is a song. Oh my God, I got to get the Trendsetter. That's the one I would rock out to.
Trying to pull up here. They had what was it? Ice Cube came out. He was for LA for the Dodgers. He came out singing. If you get a chance to look it up on YouTube, I can't remember the exact song, but I went and downloaded it. It was just him coming out and singing and dancing was just.
Cons, have you heard? Do you know what the song is? Trendsetter?
No.
Oh, Cons, we might have to play it coming out of the break. Just you listen to the intro, because the intro is so cocky. It's awesome, right? He's like, yeah, I'm a trendsetter, league of my own, and don't get better. Don't read what I wrote. I'm a bestseller. Reach for my goals, hit a dead center. Like, it's off now. The beat's obviously way better. He sings it way better than I just did, but that's the one. That's the one I would go with.
All right, final question, guys. National Fitness Recovery Day. 2 guys that like to stay in shape after a big workout or even a game. What's your recovery plan?
Geez, after listening to Brownie during commercial break, I think I know what he's going for.
Little badass Jax.
Yeah. What's your post-workout?
Cold tub.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do the cold tub.
Really?
But I don't have one, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it anyway. I'm not that. I don't have a ton of. Oh, I'm sure I have inflammation, but it doesn't seem to.
It's such a good feeling
to bother me that much.
Really?
No, you know what? I just like the sauna.
I love the sauna.
Wait,
Sauna or
no,
steamer?
I have a dry sauna.
Oh, okay.
A dry sauna. It's just, you have a good shower and then you go in the dry sauna, man. I just lay down there and it's on a timer and I just fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, it's nice and warm. Dry sauna for sure. Now, but as I got older, like I got to roll out. So if I'm doing a proper recovery plan, it's like a stupid roller. Like you hate it, but it does work.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I've been rolling out a ton. I mean, I like the steamer. We have a steam shower in our shower, so you get all hot and then you have a nice cold shower. I find the sauna. We've got one of those too, but I don't. It takes too long to warm up. So I put a little eucalyptus in there.
Well, there you go.
Come out refreshed. But a cold tub is where it goes. You don't need to be in there a long time. It is, once your body gets used to it, you got to fight through the first minute, I would say. But once you get through it, I find I love that feeling after.
Craig Brubeck trying to put a damper on your excitement. It was asked about, because again, George Peros is at the game tonight. Like, that's always the worst when they do that. Like, oh, I'm here looking. Well, so what? You're going to give him a suspension? Yeah, right. But the coach, like, you don't want anything stupid happening. Suspensions or that. Doesn't solve anything. Just go out, play the game with a lot of emotion, energy, be physical, and be hard on their skill.
Craig Berube said that?
Yeah. Don't do anything stupid. Not like I would do.
Yeah,
do as I say, not as I do.
He was an animal, that guy.
Dude, he was tough, man. Very, very tough. Yeah, it's a classic case of do what I say, not what I do. Yeah. Craig Berube. Love it. Brownie, have a good one. Oilers 3 games this week. What happens?
Well, I was wrong last time. I thought they were going to get 1 win. Man, it's hard. I mean, Connor's playing, so both Connors are playing very well. I'll say they're going to win 2.
2. All right. Can't go with the sweep, eh? Could be 3. I'll say this: the Oilers are going to get to at least a 5-game winning streak this week. They're going to beat Seattle. They're going to beat Chicago. Vegas, that'll be the tough one, but that'll be a fun game. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. It is still cold, but don't worry. The heat is coming, which means spring tires. Look for a change right now, fountaintire.com.
The Sports 1440 update.
Just 5 games on the ice tonight in the NHL. Getting going at 5. Islanders host the Penguins, followed by the Flames, Avs, Golden Knights, Canucks, the Ducks hosting the Leafs, and the Blues in San Jose. In the majors, the Jays kicking off a series against the Rockies. First pitch 5:07. We'll join that game in progress on our AM dial, feed only, immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. Right now, Royals up on the Twins by a score of 3-1. In the association this evening, you got the Sixers and the Heat. Celtics travel to Atlanta. Spurs hosting the Bulls. Cavs meet the Jazz. Thunder up against the Pistons, and the Wizards taking on the Lakers. And March Madness on the female side, Elite 8 action. Number 1 Texas taking on Michigan in an hour. Then at 7 o'clock, you got South Carolina meeting TCU. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll discuss the Philadelphia Flyers with Jordan Hall of NBC Philadelphia and hear from members of the Edmonton Oilers. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
One app, Brown Sports.
The action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games,
Game day, Sports 1440.
Professional sports teams from around the world,
by club,
or buying into Canada's biggest lottery.
Monday, some big.
Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of CanTorque. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at CanTorque.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Edmonton's go-to station for all things sports. It's Sports 1440.
From Low Tide to Kevin Carrius and Jason Gregor, we deliver the latest on your favorite teams.
Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
To Sports 1440.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada. Properties include the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility in Nisku, features 2 sheets of ice, a 1,600-seat arena, as well as Summit Restaurant. Learn more at silentice.com.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's AquaCentral reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at KumaOutdoorGear.com.
I'm gonna make it bending.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio, from weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
Rolling through Monday afternoon. Man, the shows are just flying by right now. There's so much going on in the sports world. I feel like we don't even get to everything, which is a good problem to have. Man, we got 4 hours. There's still tons to get to in the NHL. If you're a Blue Jays fan, you're excited. You're an MLB fan. What about Aaron Judge? What a weekend for Aaron Judge. He basically he did not put one ball into play. His 2 hits were both home runs. He struck out 7 times. The rest were just, didn't get a hit in the field. Kind of wild. And there was a few guys that had multiple home runs, no hits. So now it's early on, of course. But I'll say this about Cease, sick duster, by the way. Like that thing, right now, does he have the best mustache in sports? Who's got a better duster than Cease?
Kind of put Stuart Skinner's to shame.
Well, Skinner's is pretty good.
He's got a good one, but it's not as big.
You're right. I agree. And next time I might have to talk to Stu and get him on the show this summer. I'm going to have to up your stash game, buddy. Because Cease is big and thick, man. Like that. And he's also got, he also helps that when he wears the ball cap, he's got the hair flowing all out the back. It's a solid look. He definitely gets noticeable. Get noticed, I should say. So, and it always helps when you can throw heat. Like that guy, most strikeouts in MLB the last 5 years combined, over 1,000. He's durable, stays healthy, and strikes guys out. That's what he does. So it's a good combination to have in a pitcher for sure. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It is the Gregor Show, as always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. We're going to get to our stats of the day momentarily. As always, PlayAlberta.ca. You can go. We got some NHL games for you. We have also some MLB with the Jays. Vladdy's due. He's got to hit a home run at some point, doesn't he? Sitting 400. A lot of singles. Looking for a big one, and got a good opponent tonight. And man, if there was ever a game that you'd be confident about, it'd be the Vegas Golden Knights tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks are not good. They're not good at all. And now, you know what? It's a new coach and everything's excitable and yada, yada. I'm sure Vancouver will come out ready for a bit, but ultimately I could see this one not going their way. And Colorado and Calgary, I don't know, something, this one kind of smells like a little bit of an avalanche for Colorado tonight. Now, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. Founded in 2009. Not only do they specialize in underground work, also huge in the community, donating lots of lights to different cancer treatment centers and more. They love giving back to the community. They help the neighborhoods grow. That is All-Star Construction. And some stats for you today. So it was a wild weekend to just catch up in the NHL. In the Eastern Conference, you have 7 teams separated by 3 points. There's 2 spots open in the Metro. The Islanders have 89 points. The Penguins have 88. The Blue Jackets have 88. And suddenly, the surging Philadelphia Flyers have 86 points. And they're 2 back of Columbus with a game in hand. The Bruins probably sit in the best spot. They got 92 points in the number 1 wild card spot. And then you have Ottawa and Detroit also with 86. So Columbus sits in the final playoff spot with 88, but Ottawa, Detroit, and Philly all have a game in hand, and they're 2 points back. Ottawa has the tiebreaker advantage, as does Detroit, because they have more regulation wins. The Flyers, if they're going to get in the playoffs, they're going to have to beat teams out. They can't get into a tie because they've only got 23 regulation wins. In the West, maybe a little bit of a, what do we want to call it, a turtle derby? Who knows? But suddenly there's lots of teams vying for one spot. Utah has 82 points. Pretty comfortable, I would say, to hold off a wild card spot. But Nashville has 77. They've played 74 games. They don't play again until Thursday. The Kings have 76. They got a game in hand. The Kraken have 75. They have 2 games in hand. The Jets have 74 points. They have a game in hand. The Sharks, 3 games in hand, and they've got 73 points. And the Blues, who are the hottest team in the Western Conference since the Olympic break. How hot? How about they've only allowed 1.53 goals against per game? Suddenly, they're getting, like, Hoffer's being great. Binnington's being very good. But the Blues, they don't score a ton, but they don't give up very much at all. And that has been pretty impressive. They're 11-2-2, an 800 points percentage. Almost outscoring teams 2-1. They got 44 goals to 23 against. Like, they've been really good. Have the St. Louis Blues. And it's kind of come out of nowhere, to be honest. Like, you know what? And their power play isn't very good at all. They're winning at 5-on-5. Like, their power play is 10%. Now, speaking of power play, do the Edmonton Oilers miss Leon Draisaitl? Yeah, they do. Do you know where they miss him the most? On the power play. The Oilers in 6 games, sans Draisaitl, they are 1 for 14 on the man advantage. Not ideal. They've had some okay looks, not a lot of great looks, but they can't score in the power play. Luckily, they're scoring 5-on-5. So that keeps them in games. They're 5-on-5. You got 15 5-on-5 goals in their last 6 games. If you can average 2.5 5-on-5 goals per game, you're going to win more than you lose, and that's what the Oilers done going 4-2. But power play, they missed Draisaitl. His passing, he's a shooting threat for sure. You know, Podkolzin isn't the threat. And it's not just the shot. It's the reading and the positioning to get into the area that, A, they can't defend you, and B, the goalie can't cheat over quick enough to stop it all the time. And you watch the power play, like, it just doesn't look. They can enter the zone still because they got McDavid. Entering the zone's no problem. And last game, they actually did. They had a few good looks. Zach Hyman just fanned on a one-timer in front. That was a perfect setup. They moved it around really well, right? And then he just fanned on it. So maybe a little bit unlucky, but God, like, it is pretty noticeable how much they miss. And it's not a surprise because anybody who's been paying attention, Leon Draisaitl, the last 5 years, there is no more dangerous power play shooter in the National Hockey League. Okay? He has 109 power play goals since the start of the 21-22 season. So the last 5 years plus this year. Next is Sam Reinhart with 83. Then Stamkos with 74. Kaprizov with 70. If you look on the Oilers, how much does he matter as a trigger man to their power play? Well, he has almost double the amount of goals as McDavid on the power play. 109 for Draisaitl, 58 McDavid, 51 for Hyman, 37 for Nugent-Hopkins, and 22 for Bouchard. Do you know who's 6th, actually, on the Oilers in power play goals since 2022? Just for fun, just a random. Oiler fans, I'm going to give you a few minutes, and then I'll give you the answer. But guess right now. So Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Nuge, Bouchard. Don't look it up. Which Oiler is 6th most power play goals since the 22 season? So 22, 23, 24, 25, and this year. Just text in your guess. I'll probably be able to tell if you looked it up based on the time you sent it in, because it would be a very hard one to get. But if you get it, good luck. But we will see if you know that stat of the day. Some other ones I mentioned, the Blue Jays. You can't talk about the Blue Jays without talking about their pitching. 50 strikeouts in 3 games. For goodness sakes, that is very impressive. You look at the Jays. So right now, through the first weekend of the season, Cease leads in strikeouts with 12. Second is Gosman, and tied for 5th is Eric Lauer. That's their 3 starters. They had 32 Ks from their 3 starters. It's ridiculous. Like you go through all the teams. It's not really close to the amount of strikeouts compared to Toronto. Like, look at the A's, right? Like, they just played the Jays. What, they have 17 strikeouts? It was almost like a 3-to-1 ratio. It's something you'd never seen in the first 3 games start of season. The Jays had never had a series like that. Obviously, they're not going to strike out 50 every 3 games. They'd have 2,700 strikeouts on a season, which, of course, would be the MLB record, which is set in 2018. And it was just over 1,800 for a year. But the Jays pitchers, man, they can throw some gas. And Ponce, he'll make his debut tonight. You got Max Scherzer. And you got Trey Savage getting closer. He's going to pitch a 3-inning game. So, he's probably still a week or so away. But they can throw gas on the mound, the Jays. And you look at it early in MLB, the Jays, the Yankees, as well as the Miami Marlins, maybe a little bit of a surprise. The Brewers and the Dodgers are after one weekend, those are the only teams that remain undefeated. So you got 5 teams who start 3-0. That's it. Now we'll see what the season holds. But the Jays, obviously, here Tampa Bay 1-2, despite scoring the most runs with 23 in the AL East, but gave up 22. So a lot of high scoring ones for them. So there's some stats today brought to you by All Star Construction. And the answer for most powerful. Collins, you have a guess?
You took out McDavid, Draisaitl,
the top,
Hyman.
the 5-man unit.
My first thought was Corey Perry.
Well, he's second. Good guess, Corey Perry, because we had a lot of guesses. People were guessing Corey Perry. Lots of people were guessing Evander Kane. And Perry has 6. Kane has 5. Matthias Ekholm has 5. This gentleman had 7, but he only played 134 games. Tyson Barrie. So that just shows you how, hey, that first unit power play plays a lot, and they score a lot. No question. Jack Roslovic does have 3. Matt Savoy has 3 amongst, active Oilers, as well as Ekholm with 5. So Tyson Barrie, how long till someone passes him? We shall see. Even in, if you look at power play points in that time, Barrie is he's 6th by a long shot. Now, he was on the first unit, played 134 games, had 50 power play points. He was pretty good on the power play as well when he was here. But McDavid, Draisaitl, 237 for McDavid, 217 for Draisaitl, 149 for Nuge, 111 for Bouchard, and 82 for Hyman. Hyman doesn't touch the puck a ton on the power play, screens a lot, gets some goals, not a ton of helpers on the man advantage. When we come back, Jordan Hall will join us. We talked about the Blues a little bit, but what about the hottest team in the East, second hottest team in the Eastern Conference? And the funny thing is, they were in the playoffs, and then they crashed out of the playoffs, and now they're trying to crawl their way back into the playoffs. Can they do it? We'll find out next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy. Designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Craving your favorite mouth-watering pizzas? Papa John's has large specialty pizzas for only $19.99 for a limited time. Get a flavorful all the meats, the works, ultimate pepperoni, Hawaiian, barbecue chicken, and more on original thin or New York style crust. Use the code LSPEC at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
At
On the Rocks, the party never stops.
Check it out.
Mondays, Bingo Tune.
Tuesdays, tacos and tequila.
Wednesdays, it's wings and karaoke.
Shake what your mama gave ya with salsa lessons on Thursdays and the best Latin DJs.
Plus, live music every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, along with DJ Kenny K.
Hold on, let's not forget $5 happy hour, 7 days a week.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Just Brav and 118th.
Do you sit around at work listening to sports radio all day? That's right, my friend. There's no shame in it. It's the good life. And we're not here to snitch. Say, if your company advertised on Sports 1440, you could be the one listening for your company's ad every day. Now you've got an excuse to listen to Sports 1440 all day. It's part of the job. Sounds like someone's getting a promotion. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca and let's get to work for you.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. And yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys.
I used to be a rolling stone, you know. Oh, it's right.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Ewell, helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ewell.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. Ewell.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We're 29. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Declan Kruger running things over YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hey, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. We very much appreciate it. Give him a thumbs up for Declan. Very much appreciate it. Time now to talk a little more NHL on a busy day in the NHL. Busy weekend that saw some teams close the gap, as some teams just can't find a way to separate in the playoff race for both the East and the Western Conference, as Jordan Hall from NBC in Philadelphia joins us. And Jordan, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
Thanks so much for having me. I'm doing well. How are you guys?
I'm excellent. The Flyers on January 1st were a playoff team sitting in third place, and then they had a terrible January, 4-8-3, and they fell out. At one point, they were 9 points out of the playoffs. I'm thinking, kind of wasted season. But here they come again. What has changed since coming out of the Olympic break for the Flyers? How'd they turn it around?
Yeah, they've made a huge push. I think it has a little bit to do with them thinking no one believes in them. Rick Tocchet the other day even said we have a little bit of us against the world mentality. He really likes that. So I think the players in-house kind of had nothing to lose, and they've really fueled off of that. But they've gotten excellent goaltending. Dan Vladar's had a career year here in year one with the Flyers. Samuel Ersson, their backup's been 5-0 since the Olympic break. They've been a really stingy defensive team, and then they're getting some really big offensive contributions. Owen Tippett's played like his hair's been on fire. He's been a dynamic player every night. He looks like he's the best player on the ice. And they've gotten some good leadership from a guy like Travis Konechny, who's providing offense and really kind of been the guy that's driving it here in Philadelphia. So a little bit of everything, but also I think they've been motivated by a lot of doubters too. I really think that's been fueling their push.
Well, you mentioned Andersson. Yeah, his last 5 starts, like he's completely turned his season around because prior to the Olympics, they could barely play him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think a lot of people thought he was, to put it bluntly, he was one of the worst goalies in the NHL. And in years past, he's been the number one here, and they really kind of used him a lot down the stretch. And I think he kind of wore down. Like John Tortorella, the previous head coach here, admitted that he played him too much. This year, he's playing very seldom. He's not playing a whole lot, and I think the rest and recovery has helped him. He's fresher, and I think he's been motivated. He's been motivated by some talk about whether he'll be here next year or not. And, Travis Konecny and Sean Brown, their 2 leaders here, called him a gamer. Like, I think they just believe when his back's against the wall, like he tends to play really well, and he's showing it right now.
So now what about the Martone signing? When's he going to play? Is he going to play tomorrow for the Flyers?
I believe it'll be tomorrow. That was the hope for the Flyers. Danny Briere talked the other night, and they said they were hopeful about Tuesday. I think they needed to get him up to speed and make sure everything was aligned for him to actually play. And I believe they're going to get there. Martone skated today with a small group of players. He left the ice early as other guys continued to skate. So to me, that was a sign that they didn't want to overwork him. They were going to have him ready to play Tuesday night. And it's just a really interesting time because the Flyers are making this push. They've been one of the best teams in the NHL since late February. They really believe they have a chance to make the playoffs. And now they're going to put a 19-year-old in the lineup, a very big piece to their future. And I think they're confident that he can do this, that he can get in and not be a liability, if anything, help them.
So you looking at their lineup, where do you see him slotting in?
I think they're going to put him in position to succeed, and that's going to be a top 6 spot in their lineup, and he'll be on a power play unit. As for who he plays with, I'm not sure, but I think they're going to play him with one of their better centers, like maybe Trevor Zegras or Christian Dvorak, and absolutely have him on a power play unit that's been arguably the worst in the league over the last 5 seasons. Probably not arguably, it has been over the last 5 seasons. They've been a nightmare on the power play here in Philadelphia. So I think they're going to give Martone all the looks possible to see if he can help them there. And then also just play with players that I think are going to create some offense and create opportunities for him. I think they think his hockey smarts are at a high level that he'll complement a guy like Zegras or a guy like Christian Dvorak. So they could use the offense. It's not like they're lighting up scoreboards right now. They've really been defensively a top team, but so they need the offense, and I think Martone has a chance to give it to them.
Well, yeah, because they've been playing Dvorak with Konecny and then Zegras with Tippett, and those duos have worked. But you've got like Carl Grundstrom playing with the Dvorak line and Denver Barkey playing with the other one. So one of those 2 guys could go down. And any reason why Michkov isn't getting a look in the top 6?
So I would say their second and third lines at times are interchangeable. I think they've really liked Michkov with Noah Tate, who's probably their best defensive forward. Tate just loves him. He's just so defensively sound. He makes up for other teammates' mistakes. So I think they feel like they can get Michkov more minutes when they play him with Tate because Tate kind of protects them maybe from a defensive standpoint. But his ice time, I think, has gotten up, and I think his offense is starting to come along. Like, to me, he's looked much more like the rookie Michkov down the stretch than he did earlier in the season. I think he took the Olympic break very seriously. He worked hard. I think his confidence is coming around from a scoring standpoint. So his minutes still fluctuate at times, and I think Tocchet at times will protect him in terms of late game situations. But I do think Tocchet's come around much more on getting him out there in big situations, whether it's in overtime or later in the game. And a lot of that has to do with, I think, Noah Cates.
Okay. Looking at the Flyers as Jordan Hall joins us. They are definitely back in the mix. There's really no question about it. You look, they got Washington. That's kind of one of those games where you're like, hey, man, you got to win, right? Washington's not in the playoff race. They'll be watching, hoping that the Islanders and Pittsburgh don't have a 3-point game tonight. But coming up, this weekend, Detroit and New York back-to-back. That really kind of make or break the season for the Philadelphia Flyers.
It absolutely will. This is make or break time for the Flyers. They haven't really given themselves a whole lot of room for error. They lost 12 of 15 games going into the Olympic break, like you had mentioned. And that's put them in a position where they they cannot lose any games. I mean, like even the other night, they lost to the Blue Jackets at home. And a lot of people thought that might have been the final dagger. But again, they kind of don't go away. There's definitely a swagger in the locker room that like one loss isn't going to bury them, but they definitely are in a position where they need to pick up wins. And one thing that could be a hurdle is they are far behind in regulation wins. Like they've been a team that's gone to overtime a lot. 26 times they've gone to overtime. So they don't have a lot of regulation wins. And as everyone knows, that's a critical tiebreaker. So they're going to have to win games. They're going to have to still get some help. But 2 points out with 9 games to go, I think if the Flyers knew that exiting the Olympic break, they would have signed up for that.
Jordan Hall joins us talking about the resurgent Philadelphia Flyers. And now Martone can come, but he's not eligible to play in the playoffs, right? So if I'm not mistaken, he can't play in the playoffs. So they're just going to use him to hopefully help them get into the regular season, into the postseason, right? And then because that was the risk. If he signed an ATO, he could have went down to the minors. But he could they send him to the AHL when the season's over?
Yeah, I believe they can.
Okay,
I would have to triple check that, but I believe they can. I am not sure if they will, but I wouldn't rule that out if they find that could be valuable for him. But I really think they probably promised him a look at the NHL, and they probably feel like he's earned it. So I think he's going to get a look here, and I think it will ultimately come down to Rick Tocchet too, and whether they feel it's matchup based or if they feel like it's a little too much at times. They'll go over the veteran that they can throw into the lineup, but I think the Flyers really want to give him a chance to play here and see where he stands, and especially in meaningful games.
And lastly, you mentioned how the head coach loves Cates, and a lot of people. I read some story. Tocchet's too hard on Michkov and such, and it seems like Michkov has responded well to it. How do you view it? You're there every day. How do you view that relationship?
I do. I think he has responded well. We've asked him from time to time about his relationship with Rick Tocchet, and he says it's your very traditional head coach player relationship. And one thing I will say is I know Tocchett's caught a lot of flack for maybe how he's played him or handled him, but I'm telling you, every time I'm at practice, Tocchet is working with him one-on-one a lot, and it looks like it's in a very positive way. Like he's working with him. He's tapping him on the back. He's telling him try this, try that. Like if there's any buzz out there that people think Rick Tocchet doesn't like Matvei Michkov, I think that's just ridiculous. He knows he's an important piece. I think there's going to be times where there's compromise. Matvei Michkov may play a certain way, and Tocchet probably needs to understand that. And then there's going to be times where Tocchet really needs him to dig in, and Michkov's going to have to do that too. And I think that's very normal for a 21-year-old from Russia coming over to the NHL and handling a new coach. But I think things have been fine between those two, and really I see it daily. Tocchet works with him a lot, and really tries to work with him, wants to work with him. So Danny Briere really expects confidence and that this will work long term. And I think there's reason to believe that this can absolutely work.
Well, enjoy the stretch run. We'll see if the Flyers can finish it off. It would be quite the come from behind story for the Flyers if they can do it.
Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Jordan Hall joining us from NBC in Philadelphia. So the Flyers were 8 points out. They were in 14th place in the East coming out of the Olympic break. And in a month's time, a month and a bit, month and 5 days, they have moved up to within 2 points of a playoff spot now. They got 86. They're tied with Detroit and Ottawa. They're 2 back of the Blue Jackets. They'll have a game in hand on the Blue Jackets. And the Flyers play the Capitals tomorrow night. Tonight, big game of the Penguins and the Islanders. Also in the West, the Blues and the Sharks. Vegas, first game for John Tortorella against Vancouver. What a gift that is. Also, Colorado takes on the Calgary Flames. Man, you see, people in Calgary are losing their minds because the Flames are winning too much, they say. The Flames are on a little bit of a heater right now, right? They'd won 4 in a row. They won 5 of their last 6. But they're still fourth worst team in the NHL. And they're only 1 point up on the Rangers. So, you know what? They were never going to catch Vancouver. It just wasn't going to happen, right? It's basically, could they have maintained the second best odds in the lottery because Vancouver was just too good. Vancouver is just too good this year for anybody to catch them for 30 seconds. Some years you just got to be good. And the Canucks, they're good in that regard. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to hear from head coach Chris Knobloch. Also, we will hear from Connor Ingram and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
And now Action Electrical's testing team is on defense duty. They're the guardians of safety and compliance, a critical part of any lineup.
Precisely. They perform rigorous safety and code compliance testing for commercial operations. Think of them as the referees, ensuring everything is up to standard before disaster strikes.
Their preventative plays are legendary, spotting faults early. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana Juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the sweat box.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit ProSolutionsInc.ca to schedule your service today.
The Brick semi-annual sale is back with prices so low, they only last until March 30th. Save up to 30% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners, up to 40% off select mattresses, and up to 30% off bedroom and dining furniture. Buy more, save more. Up to 50% off select major appliances. Plus, elevate your outdoor with up to 20% off outdoor furniture. Some exclusions apply. Visit thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Start thinking spring road trips and off-road trips in your new Subaru Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and so many features. Standard on every Crosstrek. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive, EyeSight driver assist technology, heated seats, and LED steering responsive headlights. Plus, with interest rates from 0.99%, you'll love the affordable weekly payments. No waiting, immediate delivery available. Subaru Crosstrek. Visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
You probably know Stingray for radio advertising.
What about digital advertising?
Yeah, we do that.
Connected TV?
We do that.
Search and social?
And that.
Programmatic? Digital out of home?
We do it all. Endless digital platforms to connect your business to more customers, to intrigue them, engage them, so they choose your product or service. Get started now at stingraymediasolutions.com and let us help your business grow. We are Stingray. That's what we do.
Ride for Dad is back. Join Sports 1440 as we help raise funds and awareness for the fight against prostate cancer. The ride starts Saturday, June 13th at Blackjack's Roadhouse. Register online at ridefordad.ca and find more info at sports1440.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by CanTorque, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at CanTorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through Monday afternoon. How are you? Hope you're having a lovely day. It's supposed to be warming up soon. Enjoy it. Nice. Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. Use the Jason Gregor Show odds boost to get some specials on games tonight, including the Blues and the Islanders. Also, the Golden Knights debut with John Tortorella. And how about the little Blue Jays action? So check it out at PlayAlberta.ca. Edmonton Oilers practice today. They even had a skills session after practice. So basically, they run their full practice, and then players who want afterwards, they could go over to the community rink and work with their skills coach on various different skills. I would say 3/4 of the team went over there for different lengths of time. Trent Frederick, Colton Dock were out there the longest. We're still actually out there when I was leaving the room, just because they're not playing tomorrow, so you get a little extra work in. It was the first practice with the team for both of them, so you want to push yourself through the paces a little bit, work on some skill development, just kind of get the touch again. Frederick is a possibility for Thursday against the Blackhawks. Meanwhile, Doc, the first game he'd be eligible to come off of LTIR would be Saturday. Now, the Oilers, Yarventi went down because he was emergency recall. And if Trent Frederick is active or activated for the game on Thursday, then Jones, either they would keep him on the roster, and then if they keep him, then both him and Szymanski would turn into normal recalls, which they could do, because then they'd still have two more. Or they might just send Jones down, I guess, if they wanted to. We'll see. You kind of have to do it in the order that they were recalled on the emergency recall. That's just how it works. And then when Doc, for him to get activated, then you'd have to send those other guys down, which you could do. Or I wonder, they could also send Doc if they wanted on a conditioning stint, because that kind of is a nice way of saying, hey, you're still on the NHL roster, you get paid NHL money. Or they could just send him down. I think when it's all said and done, because right now they got 12 forwards. When Frederick comes back, it's 13. I don't think they want to have two healthy scratches every night. So we'll see what they do. You got some guys, they want to play well. They want to finish the season strong in the American League. And Doc is eligible to go down. So we'll see how that goes. Now let's get to the oil report, brought to you by Go Auto. You can shop over 15,000 vehicles at goauto.ca. 73 locations to choose from, over 31 new vehicle brands. The car you want is at goauto.ca. And head coach, we'll start with him, and then we'll get to Connor Ingram. Just Knobloch talked about what he's liked about his team's game in their season matching high 3-game win streak.
Just simplicity, working hard, doing little things, playing a lot faster because of that simplicity. And then just, I think defensively, we're playing with a little more structure, but also a little more commitment to defense and just doing the little things, to whether it's tying up a stick. But there's been a lot of block shots the last few games, and you can just tell that the urgency to win your shift and do the little things is going a long way.
It is. Hey, win your shifts. What about Connor Murphy? What has he seen as the impact from Murphy? Oh, sorry, that's it. We'll get to that one. I was reading the wrong one. Does the coach, because this is interesting, because we heard from Vegas players and GM, well, you know what, we didn't have the spirit that we wanted. Well, what does the coach think is the reason for the increased urgency defensively lately from the Oilers?
The urgency, just our schedule and where we are in the standings, and everyone knows how important all these games are, and we can't just relax and play this out. We need to get better. We need to win hockey games, get in the playoffs, and I think everyone has been doing that.
There's two ways to look at it. You can get excited, you can get nervous, or you can just kind of bear down. I think the Oilers are excited about the playoffs. They've also decided, hey, we gotta up our game. We need to be more attentive to the small details of the game, and I think that's what you're seeing. No one plays a perfect game, but more often than not, the Oilers have not been gifting goals. That to me is when they play Santa Claus, they're brutal, and they played Santa Claus for long stretches. What about Matt Savoy? Since the Olympic break, Matt Savoy obviously having his best stretch of games as an NHLer? Is it rest? Is it experience? What has he seen from his youngster?
Just since the break, I think he was able to reset and get some time off and was rested, and just came with, since the Olympic break, he's been playing really good hockey. Right now, the opportunity to just playing with McDavid obviously has a lot to do with that too, with his game. But before he was playing with McDavid, he was pretty good. He was doing a lot of good things and had his hand on a lot of good, got a lot of good plays. So I just think, with the opportunity, having confidence, feeling rested, he's been a really good player for us.
He has been very good. And lastly, from the coach, understanding Dickinson's game. Now that he's been here for a while, what has he seen from Dickinson, and can he use him in maybe more situations?
A very reliable guy. I think he's been good for matchups against other teams' top lines, especially when there was a line with Potcoles and him and Kapanen. They were really strong. Just the size, the tenacity, just all good hockey players. They, we had to maneuver our line up a little bit, just moving Potcoles into play with McDavid. It just took away a little bit of that line, but I think Szymanski's a good player for that role also. And then also the penalty kill. Him and Kapanen have really developed some chemistry and know what they're doing out there together, which have given us a great second pair for the PK.
Yeah, him and Kapanen, pretty good. You got Henrique, and so you've noticed that Connor McDavid not really being used as much on the penalty kill as of late. I get why they used him; he was very good at it, but I'd rather keep McDavid rested for other minutes. You want to get him out there in your third guy every now and then, no problem. Third unit, but I don't need to see Connor McDavid coming over the boards very often. Now, obviously, you acquire Dickinson. Henry comes back. Well, there's two guys that can take faceoffs and kill penalties. It makes kind of more sense why he's there. Connor Ingram, just talking about his journey from the start of the season to now starting with the Oilers, and what made him believe this could happen.
You would have believed it if I told you it? Yeah. I don't know. Like I've always said, my job doesn't change no matter what league you're in, wherever you're playing. I'm going to put my skates on the same way and just try out and go and do my job. Hockey's never been easy. So it's something that, you've had to work at my whole life. And I think that was the whole goal, is just put your head down and go to work. And whatever's going to happen is going to happen either way.
And he was asked just his thoughts on, I know it's still a few weeks away. Some reporter asked him about just his kind of thinking about the upcoming atmosphere of the playoffs in Edmonton.
I have no idea. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, what do we got? 8-9 games left. So that's where I'm focused right now. I mean, this year's taught me to not look too far in the future. So I'm going to take it one day at a time. And maybe when we get closer to that, I'll have an answer for you.
Yeah, which is the right answer. Because you know what? I like what he said. He goes, hey, man, you stay in the moment. Like, hey, the players know it. Everybody knows about the experience. Connor Murphy's talked about it. He's never played a playoff game with fans. His only trip to the playoffs was in Edmonton, funny enough, in the bubble in 2020. It's the only time. Now, he won the kind of the play-in round with Chicago over the Edmonton Oilers, and they lost in the, I like to call it the real round, down when you're down to 16 teams. And he kind of joked, goes, nah, I'm not really sure you can even count that as playoffs. It's just not the same without the fans. So, they'll be fired up. Every player, like Buffalo, it's going to be crazy in Buffalo, right? You look, what if the Islanders squeak in? Nobody thought they would make it this year. What if the Detroit Red Wings actually get back to the playoffs, right? Like Montreal is obviously pandemonium when they're in. So there's lots of buildings that are going to be very energetic, but obviously it's a little bit different in Canada. Just a slight difference. When we return, we're going to get to Mark Spector, the Spec Report. That was the Oil Report brought to you by Go Auto. Of course, 5 games in NHL. Connor Halley will update you on those. Trent Frederick, if you're wondering, did skate today, as did Colton Dock, but neither is going to play tomorrow. Dock actually can't play until Saturday just because he's on LTIR and due to the time restraints. In the case of Frederick, Thursday seems like a likely option. I think you'll see Connor Ingram start tomorrow. You'll see Tristan Jarry start against Chicago, and then you'll see Connor Ingram start on Saturday against the Vegas Golden Knights. And I think Trent Frederick is hoping to get back in the lineup for Thursday night against the Blackhawks. Don't expect any changes for the Oilers forwards or goaltenders or defense from Saturday afternoon's victory over the Anaheim Ducks. Leon Draisaitl did take part in the Oilers team picture today. And you know what? Still rehabbing his left knee injury. And expectations are still that they're hoping that he'll be ready for the playoffs. Maybe, not for sure, but maybe even get in a game before the end of the regular season. He would be eligible to play in the final 3 games. I don't think there's any chance he's playing in LA, but maybe one of the final 2 games. All depends on how the rehab goes, how he's feeling, all those sorts of things. It's still too unpredictable considering the final regular season game is still 20 days away from now. So they've got some time to figure out whether or not he'll be ready to go or not on the, what is that? The 7th, it's actually, what is it? The 18th of April? I think that's when the Thursday, the 16th. Yeah, 16th of April is the Thursday, right? That's their last regular season game. So it's actually only 18 days. So there you have it. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. If you're looking for a great deal, stop in the brand new Autoplex at Northgate. If you're looking for a fantastic deal, no extra bells and whistles, just a good, fair deal. NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
5 games tonight in the NHL, getting going shortly. Islanders host the Penguins, followed by the Flames in Colorado tonight, hosting the Canucks. The Maple Leafs travel to Anaheim, and the Sharks taking on the Blues. In the majors, Toronto kicking off a 3-game series with the Rockies. First pitch 5:07. We'll join that game in progress immediately following the Jason Gregor Show on our AM feed. Couple games underway right now, heading into the second. Orioles and Rangers tied at 1 apiece, while the Nationals do the Phillies 4-0 in the top of the first. Later tonight, Brewers host the Rays, Mets in St. Louis. Astros get the Red Sox, and the Yankees travel to Seattle. Earlier today, it was the Royals knocking off the Twins 3-1 in the association. Celtics heading to Atlanta. The Heat up against the 76ers. Bulls in San Antonio. Thunder host the Pistons, and the Wizards taking on the Lakers. And March Madness Elite 8 on the women's side coming up in 5 minutes. Texas taking on Michigan, while TCU meeting number 1 seed South Carolina. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear from Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. 5 minutes and 14 seconds in the third period Sunday with a 3-1 lead. You have thought no problem being on time for Grandma's family dinner, right? Find out in today's 2-minute warning. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold, Common thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fan.
fans, your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Summit Restaurant. Located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common, Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Cheers. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting.
Right now.
Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant
Gregor,
your
Connor.
next night on the town.
Gonna buy play Alberta.
NHL Star Sticks are back at McDonald's, and we're celebrating by going bigger.
We're having
Make that smaller, way smaller than ever before.
Collect the set and get one of 7 mini sticks with every NHL Star Sticks meal. Featuring McDavid, Matthews, Quinn Hughes, McCarr, Celebrini, Reinhardt, and Montembeau. So get yours while they last. 1 stick per meal purchase. Limited time at participating Canadian restaurants.
Ride for Dad is back. Join Sports 1440 as we help raise funds and awareness for the fight against prostate cancer. The ride starts Saturday, June 13th at Blackjack's Roadhouse. Register online at ridefordad.ca and find more info at sports1440.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Monday afternoon continues on. You made it through the first day of the week. Congratulations as you make your way home. Take a little extra time. No road rage. Be calm. Enjoy the show. Hopefully we can, you know what? Oilers have won 3 in a row. You'll be in a good mood. You're not going to be overly stressed. Lots of reasons to be excited about your team if you are indeed an Edmonton Oilers fan. If you're a fan of some other teams, well, I guess depends who it is. So it might be good, might be not so good. We shall see. Jason Gregor, Connor Hallen with you. The Gregor Show is always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game. And remember, tomorrow night, Lotto Max, $65 million. The Eric Carlson and 8 Max Millions. So get your tickets at PlayAlberta.ca. NHL games, man. Honestly, the out-of-town scoreboard, this is, if you're a hockey fan, like, it's awesome. You're just watching, you're looking. There's lots of games that matter. You got the Penguins and the Islanders set to go in a few minutes' time. They also have lots of late games on the West Coast tonight. The Flames are in Colorado. That game starts at 8:30. Then you got, 6:30 our time, 8:30 Eastern. But then 8 o'clock our time has the Golden Knights, John Tortorella. Also the Ducks, Radko Gudas. Basically, like, I'm coming out of the press box. There's no way I'm not standing up for myself. I didn't like what I did. Come fight me. And imagine if no one challenged him now. Like, Gudas is, imagine that. He's basically said, hey, I'm banged up. Clearly not that banged up. But I'm coming out. Anybody who wants to fight me. The Maple Leafs don't, like, not that Gudas is a good fighter, but it's not like the Maple Leafs have a bunch of killers. Like, honestly. You got Dakota Joshua. You got Domi. You got Benoit. But they don't really have, like, like anybody who's really tough where you could say, man, this guy could beat the wheels off of Gudas. But I'll still be watching. Make no mistake about it. And then you got the Blues and the Sharks also tonight. And suddenly the St. Louis Blues don't look now. But they are, I know, they're 4 points out. But they have 2 games in hand. You take on the Sharks, and then you take on the Kings. You win your 2 games in hand, boom, you're tied with Nashville for the final wild card spot. And we get into the month of April, and anything could happen. There's 6 teams battling. The Winnipeg Jets aren't out of it, for goodness sakes. All of you who mock Kevin Karius, maybe you'll have to be like, what? Well, geez, maybe I was wrong. We'll see. We'll see. I'll say this. If the Jets make it, he won't let you forget about it, to tell you that. Let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists. And guess what? You want to work for an awesome company? Well, they are hiring right now. Looking for top men, pipe layers, operators, and more. Apply today, gsconstruction.ca, and look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. Spec, how you doing?
So I'm looking at the goal differentials here in this playoff quote unquote race.
Yeah, but Spec, which page are you looking at? Don't look at NHL.com, the standings page, because it's misleading because it includes shootout goals. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of.
Okay, what page are you looking at then?
You go to the stats page, right?
Yeah.
And you click on teams, and then you look at goals for and goals against. And you're right, all those teams will have a negative goal differential, right? Like the Sharks are minus, what are they? Minus 39. The Winnipeg Jets are minus 14. The Seattle Kraken are minus 13. The Kings are minus 23. The Blues, despite being unreal defensively lately, are still minus 33. So yeah, it's not a great goal for differential when you're looking at those stats for sure.
No, it's amazing how the West, like what happened out here. Did the East beat the West just every night for fun all year long? Like, how does that work? I'm not sure. But anyway, you know what? You can take the stats and throw them out. It's a good race, and that's what counts. There's teams in it. You're right. Winnipeg, I mean, I wrote Winnipeg off 2 months ago. So I guess I'm one of those anti-Kevin Karius types. But pretty good race. I'd love to see Winnipeg get in, man. We could use another Canadian team in there for sure.
Yeah. It would help. You look at Ottawa, maybe Winnipeg, maybe Montreal and Edmonton are definitely in, but we'll see who can get in. The Vegas Golden Knights, Spec, give me your thoughts on the new coach.
Well, he's a new coach. He's an old coach around the league. I think we know the coach pretty well. Very interesting to see the stats that have come out about his ability to provide the quote-unquote new coach bump. His last several stops, the first 10 games in all those cities have been very poor, like barely 500. So there's, do we expect a new coach bounce out of Vegas? I mean, why there when it didn't happen in Philly and it didn't happen in Vancouver and it didn't happen in Columbus? And I guess I'd ask that. But you know what? They're pushing every button they can push in Vegas. That team's been bad most of the season. And then after the Olympic break, where Edmonton took a step forward, they're even worse. So Kelly McCrimmon's got to do something. I'm not saying I hate the move, but I would contest anyone who's telling me that Torts is just going to walk in the door and make that team better. His record hadn't been very good.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Well, it was interesting if you listen to it, Spec. We had Ken Bulki on the show earlier, and the press conference all like, well, we just, our spirit wasn't there. We didn't have much spirit, and we need to be better. And I'm kind of like, well, why'd you fire the coach? Coach can't instill spirit in you that much. Like, come on. Yeah. So I'll be curious to see what happens here. I don't expect a major change in system. There'll be some small tweaks, like any coach will do, some small things here or there. But I just look at Vegas, and I don't think they're quick enough. That's my one concern about that team. They got some defenders. They can defend overall pretty well, but I just don't know if they have it. Now, the one thing Tortorella has done, certain guys, they love him, right? If you're on Team Torts, you love him, he loves you, and who knows how many guys in that room will be Torts guys. It was interesting, like, is Mitch Marner going to become a Torts guy? That'll be fantastic to me. That's the one I'll be watching.
Yeah, that's one guy that his style of play and Torts' style that he wants to coach and get out of his players, they're not the same style. Marner's a producer, and he always has been. Even though his numbers are a little down this year, he's still one of the top producers on that team. But the first thing I thought is, I wonder how Mitch's game and Torts' expectations will work out. And I'm with you. There's the first thing, there's two things here. The goaltending, no coach can win with the goaltending Vegas has had this year. It just hasn't been good. And the second thing is team speed. I don't think they're very fast.
No.
Can a slow team play fast? Yeah, maybe the coach can get a few things going with his, with what he demands of the players, puck movement. Let's play fast. They can play fast, but they're not very fast of foot. They're not a quick team, and that's in today's game. That's death. Not many slow teams beat fast teams when it counts.
Yes, very true. Mark Spector joins us from Sportsnet. Spec, Oilers, winners of 3 in a row.
Oh,
and beat Vegas, beat Anaheim, and pretty solid game. Got a little dicey there in the third period. The play Echo Man has broken stick. Jason Dickinson I talked about. I'll say this, man. I really enjoyed Dickinson, man. That guy's pretty honest. He was, and I even saw it because I was sitting in the crowd with my son, and our seats are kind of right across the ice. You see the bench, and Dickinson was PO'd after that second goal. And I asked him about it because he came in, he slammed the door, and he's just like, man, I was too passive. Ekholm didn't have a stick, and I just played that too passive. I got to go attack the guy, not worry about anybody else. He's really honest, and man, does he take a lot of pride in his defensive game. Although he also told me, I asked him, how you fitting in? I think we're good, but he goes, our lines, we got to have more sustained offensive zone time. He feels they're a little bit too just one shot and done. He'd like them to create a little bit more offensively.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the guy. I spoke to him today for a piece I was doing, and he's a good quote. He's insightful. He lets the fan in quite a bit, which is good. He's a guy that's spent most of his career in hockey towns that are, he was only 1 year in Vancouver, which is obviously a Canadian city. He was in Dallas a long time and in Chicago when they weren't any good. So he's really relishing being here in a good hockey town where it really matters and the team's good. Like he says, just going to the grocery store, man. You can just tell people they want to meet you, but they want to tell you how excited they are. So the point I'm making is, here's a guy that's really excited to be here. I've said before in the show here, he's, to me, that 3C that defends and makes that part of, that's the entirety of his job, is to be a strong defending third center. That's a role Edmonton hasn't had for a long time. They haven't plugged that. I think that's been a bit of a hole in their game. They haven't had that guy. Remember, they went and got Bukestad, and they've kind of pecked away at it. This is the best version of that player they've had in a long time. Offensively, sure, he wants to have the puck more. Great, I suppose. That once Draisaitl gets back, if this team's going McDavid, Draisaitl, Dickinson, Henrique down the middle, or whoever they go on the fourth line, you can't tell me there's a team in the league's got a better set of centermen than the Edmonton Oilers would. Is that, am I thinking too much of this team?
Well, hey, Dickinson for the role, right? He's in a category. There's not a lot of really good defensive third line centers in the game. Now, he'd like to get a little bit more offense. So, there's other guys who are better offensively, but maybe not as good defensively. But when you've got Draisaitl and McDavid, you don't need a ton of offense. You need some. You don't need a ton of offense. And it was interesting listening to Dickinson and then listening to Chris Knobloch when I asked him about Dickinson. And he talked about how, man, I was really starting to like his game, and he really liked him with Kapanen and Podkolzin. And I just wonder, Spec, when Draisaitl comes back, if we see Podkolzin go back to that line, right? Szymanski moved down to the third line, and then you've got Draisaitl, McDavid, you've got Hyman, Rosovic, Nugent Hopkins, and Savoy in some matchup potentially. Yep. Or do you keep Podkolzin so you have Hyman on one line, Podkolzin on one line, Kapanen on one line, a bigger hard-checking winger on each line, and so you spread it out. So you could go both ways. We'll see how he does.
They really like that third line center. First of all, it really allows you, because I think he can jump up and play second line center if you have to. And when the moment comes that you put Draisaitl with McDavid, I think having that extra high quality centerman really makes you flexibility, gives Chris Knobloch flexibility. I don't mind when they put Draisaitl up when you're down by a goal and you need one. I just think it needs to happen later and later in games. Like we all agree, they're better with McDavid and Draisaitl apart. And that's the nuclear option should be exactly that. Something you go to at the last as a last resort. So listen, you got a bunch of guys here. Like Savoy has shown us that he can be a first-line winger. This guy's a rookie. It's his first year in the league. And he's shown he's a viable, I get it, he's playing with the best player in the world, but you know what? He's playing well with the best player in the world. So now you got another top 6 centerman or a top 6 winger. And if that pushes a better player down to your third line, great. You know, now your top 9's better. Roslovic's come here. He's a legit top 6 guy. He's got 20 goals. You know, Podkolzin's pushing 20 goals. He's having his best season. Like they're top 9. I don't know. I guess I'd ask you, Jay, is this a better top 9 this year than last year? And is that enough of a difference maker to take you over the top?
Well, yeah, we'll see in the playoffs. You can get some production from some other guys. That will obviously help, right? And hey, we'll see. I think your fourth line in limited minutes spec, like Max Jones has done a lot of really good things in limited minutes. He's only playing 9 minutes a night. Like I've seen some people, oh, you know what? The coach is playing his lines more. No, the fourth line's actually playing less, right? His 11th and 12th forwards are playing 9 and 8.5 minutes, which is really what Florida did in the playoffs. But what happens is you've got to have aggressive, impactful minutes from those guys. So you got to be bigger bodies who can be physical. Frederick has done it up until his injury, right? His best hockey was coming out of the Olympic break. And I'll say Max Jones has been engaged. He's been around the play. And if he can continue it, then he fits the bill of probably what you want from a non-penalty killer in that role, right? Like now him and Szymanski might rotate in and out. We'll see. Maybe Lazar, but Jones has the advantage because he's the fastest and the biggest of the 3.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're a fourth line guy, okay? So what are you doing for the team? You got 10 minutes, let's say, for a round number. You got 9-10 minutes. Tell me how you're going to make this team better. Well, if you don't kill penalties, that's one of your options. You're like your traditional option of a fourth line player is, yeah, but I'm a good penalty killer. Okay, if you're not a penalty killer, you're probably not going to be an offensive producer in 9 minutes, right? So there's 2 things that have to happen. You got to have a physical presence. You got to go out there and bang guys. And the puck better damn well stay out of your net, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going out there 9 minutes and letting the goal in every night, you'll be watching from the press box. So with the offense this team has, they don't need a goal from their fourth line. You kick one in once in a while, great. And they've got their penalty killers are basically their top 9 guys, and that's fine. So guys like Jones and Frederick, they got to find a way to make an impact. And likely that impact is going to be physical play. And you and me both agree on this one, man. This team, physical players on the Edmonton Oilers, they've been like hen's teeth here the last few years. Add a couple now for a playoff run, I'll take it anytime.
Yes. Well, Murphy's added that. I think Dickinson's added some. Frederick was playing way more aggressive prior to his injury, and we won't see him tomorrow, but sounds like Thursday has a very good chance of playing.
Doc skated today.
Yeah, the earliest he's eligible is Saturday. I'm just not certain if there's a spot in the roster for him, right? Like maybe it's Jones, right? That's kind of, you look at it, left winger, fourth line left winger. That's the spot, but there's also Szymanski. So there's some good competition for spots here, no question. Seattle comes to town spec. It's the last game of a 6-game road trip. Now they haven't played since Saturday either. Have the Kraken, but they're in a little bit of a funk here. Edmonton has beaten. They're 14-4 all time against Seattle. Like this is a game you got to win and get your first ever 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, I mean Seattle did 4 games out east too, didn't they?
5.
I should say 5. They had 5 out east and then stop it in Edmonton on the way home. I mean San Jose did that the other week here. That's just cruelty from the schedule guy. I don't care if they got a couple days off or not. That's cruel and unusual to go east for 5 and then have to stop here for 1 on the way home. And I'm with you. Edmonton's always handled Seattle. I don't know if it's Jay, I don't know if it's a styles make the fight type of thing. Like, I just don't know if Seattle plays the right way to beat Edmonton because they just haven't. I mean, they just haven't beat Edmonton. And the Oilers right now, I think this is the staying power is what I'm looking for. Like, this 3-game winning streak, all it means to me all year is they haven't been able to they haven't had consistency. They haven't had staying power. They haven't held on to a game they like for 3, 4, 5 games in a row. And that's what good teams do. So I think they look like they're ready to do that. I've said it before and been wrong. but I do. I think the game they're playing right now, it's looking simple. It's pretty straightforward. Nobody's, I know McDavid gets his points, but he's, to my eye, they're getting it from everybody, and they're it's not a one-man team. They're doing a lot of things right, and they're doing it without a power play, Jay, which is in Edmonton doesn't happen very often. So I don't see how the Oilers back off of what we've been watching. It's been a solid, strong game, and if they ever get this power play going, and when Draisaitl gets back, I think they're going to look. They keep this going, and they add Draisaitl, Jay. It's a good-looking team.
Oh yeah. Well, I was one. I know in the Oilers, I told people, hey, it's not easy to stay patient when the team is underachieving, and I totally understood it. But I was like, the Oilers, I still think are a pretty decent team. And you know what? It's probably not great when you're a season ticket holder or you're somebody who goes to a few games and watches, and you're like, this team doesn't look like they're that invested. But in the month of March here for the last 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, you're like, oh, this is the Oilers team you kind of expected all year long, and now you just got to continue it.
So what do you do if you're a fan? You just blow off your regular season tickets and just buy them for the playoffs? Is that what a guy does here?
Well, yeah. Well, it's hard to get playoff seats. I guess if all the regular if all the season ticket holders did that, then yes, you could. But that would be rare. Hey, Spec, I have a fun question for you. If teams can't get players after the trade deadline to play in the playoffs, why can you do a coach?
Yeah, well, that's a good point. I guess the obvious answer is it's not under the salary cap.
Yeah. Well, no. But no, you could add any player. Like look at Philadelphia, for instance. They signed Porter Martone. He's only eligible to play until the regular season. He can't play in the playoffs. So why can Tortorella coach in the playoffs?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I'm not against it. Like, I don't think I guess my point would be it's not a huge advantage. They don't have a trading deadline for coaches. Would be the only difference. We do have a denoted date on the NHL schedule after which you're not allowed to trade for more guys for your playoff team. That's all I got for you. Like, should we do it with coaches? I don't know. They got a lot of PR out of this hire here, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what Torts can do down there.
Oh yeah, you're just looking forward to his first press conference. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah, hopefully Maddie's phone will ring. You're in the middle of it.
Geez, come on, Maddie. Figure and first of all, how loud do your ringer have to be, Maddie? Oh my God, I could hear that thing in the press box, and we were in the basement.
I gotta talk to his wife, Marnie. Don't phone him while he's at the rink.
Yeah, we'll turn it on vibrate. It's all good. It's not your first press conference, Maddie. Figure it out.
Hey, listen, when you're his age, I'm going to come at you with that stuff, okay?
Dude, I can tell you right now, I won't be working at his age. God, he's way more dedicated than I would be.
I hear you, brother.
Have a good one, Spec.
All right, man.
There you go. That's Mark Spector. The Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. We'll come back. We got more on the Oilers. We will get your thoughts, just kind of for fun. Who do you think on the Maple Leafs will challenge Gudas tonight? Because Gudas has basically said, I want to play, I want to honor it. I feel like I didn't like my hit, so I'm gonna stand up and do it. Who do you think does it? I'm just curious. Look at their lineup. Let me know. This might be the best lineup if I'm Radko Gudas to have to say I'm coming back in because I got to fight someone. Or is there a surprise combat? Now I know anybody in any fight can land a few. That's all it takes is one good one, and it can hurt, no question. But I'm just curious as who you think. 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year. It can only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos. For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
When life unexpectedly changes, it can leave us feeling unbalanced, uncertain, and unsure of how to move forward. but you don't have to go through it alone. I'm Corey Anderson with Fairway Divorce Solutions. Our team helps reestablish balance, guiding you through your divorce with compassion, clarity, and support. Fairway has helped more than 6,500 families across Canada find a path towards a peaceful, fair resolution. With 2 offices in Edmonton, we're here to make your journey easier. Discover your options at Fairway Divorce.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
The Brick semi-annual sale is back, with prices so low they only last until March 30th. Save up to 30% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners, up to 40% off select mattresses, and up to 30% off bedroom and dining furniture. Plus, buy more, save more, up to 15% off select major appliances. Plus, elevate your outdoors with up to 20% off outdoor furniture. Some exclusions apply. Visit thebrick.com for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, Jersey barriers and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Sherwood Honda is home of the GOAT. That's your greatest offer all time. And they have plenty of pre-owned GOATs that they got on a trade. Every used vehicle they sell goes through a 182-point inspection and comes with a vehicle history report. Because peace of mind is an essential part of getting your GOAT. And Sherwood Honda sure would want you to buy with complete confidence.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows. Locally manufactured and installed, Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We continue on Monday afternoon. Jason Gregor, Connor Hanley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. I'm curious for any of our audience. So, Cons, one of my final practices coaching earlier this month, I was doing a drill and completely bit it and went down hard, smacked my elbow on the ice. And, like a coach, try to get up, pretend like it didn't hurt, but it hurt. But I kind of forgot about it, whatever, it was a little sore, a little tender. And then about a week later, I was wrestling, kind of banged it on the floor, no big deal. All of a sudden, like on Thursday, I looked and now I've got like a massive ball of it's just like a huge at the bottom of my elbow, like a big baseball size. And now it's all full of liquid and fluid. So I Googled it, of course, because, that's what you do. And, here I see what it is. And yada, yada, yada. And they're like, well, so I'm icing it like a fiend all weekend long because they're like, try to bring the heat down and ice it and everything like that. Doesn't go down. So now I think I got to go get it drained. Have you ever had like I don't even know what the hell it's called, like a little bulbous sac thing? You ever had one?
No. I'm looking it up, though. I just elbow drained. It seems like it's a common and often painless.
Oh, okay. So
that's good.
Oh, okay. So you just got to go to the dock and get it drained?
Looks like it.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I think I might have to before the.
Does it hurt?
A little bit at times, right? A little bit, not a ton, but like I screwed up my elbow when I was a kid because I slammed it down on some idiot in practice, hit me when I wasn't paying attention in line, and I fell and smacked my elbow. And I think I might have cracked it at that point, but it hurt, but never went and got it looked because we were stupid. And so I've always kind of had a little bit of elbow discomfort, but so I don't know if it's just that. Like, I don't think it's a fracture. I would hope not. Like anything in there. Like, I don't think it's a fracture. Like, I can bend my elbow. It doesn't hurt. It's only if you put a little pressure on it.
Yeah.
So, but just, I thought for a second, I'm like, God, I'm getting old, but like it looked brutal on the side. Like, but the picture online definitely was that one. Hey boys, you might have a broken elbow bone chip swelling. Yeah, but if it doesn't hurt, like doesn't hurt to touch and doesn't hurt to bend, can't be broken, can it? Put like worst case scenario. Come on. Like, because what would you do? Like, you're not going to put a cast on it, right? I'm assuming you just drain it. Way you go. So, hey guys, I found the ice got 3 bone chips in my elbow. Had to get it drained. There was no problem till the draining needle hit the bone, and that definitely got my attention. What comes out of that sack is gross. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm not looking at it. So, Gregor, you should go to emergency. You don't want an infection. Wow. Emergency? I don't know. I might have to call my doc and see if I can go see them tomorrow. So, there we go. Doc says, hey, Gregor, the biggest one could be you could have a bone chip. That seems to be the normal one. It's not too serious. It'll just heal itself. Oh, from Doc Mike. All right, Doc. Well, thank you. Doc, let me know. Should I go get it drained, though? Or do I just try to, like, does it fix itself? That's what I was wondering. Like, how long do you have to ice it for before the swelling goes down and all the juice in there? That's not really juice, but you know what I mean.
I will confess, like one of the weirder things, one of the weird shows I'll occasionally watch is Dr. Pimple Popper. So I am kind of intrigued by the draining process and like what it would be like.
Yeah, like
what
I'm
it would look
assuming
like
you just stick
after.
like a needle in there with the hose and it just drains it out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't think it's going to be a gusher.
I don't think it's gonna pop. But
Yeah, it's not like a zit. It's not like a big whitehead you had when you were a teenager, right? Remember, everybody used to do it. Well, when you had one, you try to pop it, no one was around. Like, oh yeah, God, man, I don't miss those days. Having a big heater somewhere, oh, the worst.
never made it better long term either, right?
Oh
Like,
no,
always made it worse.
Oh yeah, but you just did it because it was hard to look. You didn't like the look of it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I almost
totally.
want it red instead of a big whitehead just sticking on there for sure. That's good. Hey, Gregor, I had the same thing for years, and eventually they took my Bursa sack. What? You kept it for years, Zeke? Oh. Hey, guys, my doc told me not to drain at risk of infection. Went away after about a month. A month? All right. Okay, I guess we'll see what happens here. So, can risk the infection, I guess, because then it becomes like an open traumatic thing. Right? So, it's probably a Bursa. Takes a while. Don't drain it. It'll go away in 4 to 6 weeks. My doctor, the sack is a thick mucic, harder to drain than it would seem. Okay. All right. Well, then I guess we'll see. It doesn't really hurt. It just looks terrible. Don't really like it, but goes away in a month. All right. Just keep elevating it. The hardest thing is try to elevate your elbow. That was the thing. Like elevating your feet, your knees, no big deal. But elevating your elbow is just kind of annoying. Right? Like you literally got to sit in the corner of the couch and have your elbow up. It's like I'm Edwin Encarnacion and I'm running the bases. It's kind of what I feel like. So, hey guys, I had bursitis in my knee. They drain it with the needle or you can wait. I think they said it takes a week or so. Okay. So we're getting a lot of different opinions on it. All right. So we'll see where it goes on the draining factor. Now, more on the orders. Hey boys, I have to admit, I was quite annoyed, thought the orders were done, but consider me right back on the wagon. Oilers look like a wagon. Hygiene. From Mike. Yeah. Well, I don't know about a wagon, but it is interesting how in 1 week, the view of your team can change. Because last Monday, the Oilers are you're coming off, we're talking about Tampa Bay, you're talking about Florida, and they were brutal. And then they go into Utah, solid game. Vegas, solid game. Anaheim, solid game. All 3 playoff teams, all teams ahead of you in the standing. And now the Edmonton Oilers have worked their way up the standings. Now they are ahead of the Vegas Golden Knights. They're also 1 point ahead of Utah, who they play again next week. So, slowly Oilers starting to make their way. Even if the Oilers ran the table, they still can't get to 100 points. The best they could do is 99 if they win their final 8 games. Right? I don't expect them to go 8-0. That would mean they'd end the season on an 11-game winning streak. Let's calm down our jets on that. Let's just see if they can get to 4. The Oilers and Flyers are the only 2 teams in the NHL who have not won 4 consecutive games in a row. But guess what? Both are riding 3-game winning streaks. And we will see if the Oilers can get it done tomorrow night. It's Seattle. That's a team that they have owned the Kraken for a long time. So you look at Seattle, they don't match up well. But if you look at win streaks for teams that have had at least, 4-game winning streaks, Anaheim has had 4 of them. Calgary's had 1. Chicago has 1. Colorado's had 4. Dallas has had 5. Edmonton, none. LA, 1. Minnesota, 3. Nashville, 1. San Jose, 1. Seattle, 3. St. Louis, 2. And they're currently on 1 right now, 4-game winning streak. Utah's had 2. Vancouver, 1. Vegas, 3. Winnipeg, 2. So Edmonton, the only team without 1 in the West. In the East, Boston has had 3. The Sabres have had 4. Carolina has had 5. Columbus Blue Jackets, 4. Detroit, 2. Florida, 1. Montreal, 2. And they're currently on a 5-game winning streak. New Jersey's had 2. Remember when New Jersey won 8 of their first 9 games? They lost their first game of the season, then they won 8 in a row. And now the Devils aren't close to the playoffs. Like, wow. Like, I'd be curious to know a team that had an 8-game winning streak in their first 10 games. Now, I know one year Buffalo had a 10-gamer and still missed a playoff, so it can happen. But, man, if you're a Devils fan, think about that. Think about how you would have felt in October. Oh, my God, we're unreal. 8 in a row. And now they're not even close to playoffs. Islanders have had 3 4-game winning streaks or more. Rangers, 1. Ottawa, 3. Philadelphia, none, but they're currently like the Oilers on a 3-game heater. Pittsburgh's had 2. Tampa Bay has had 4. 5, 6, 7, and 11. Toronto's had 1, and Washington has had 2. So Oilers and Flyers could join that club tomorrow night. And 5-game winning streaks obviously much more rare. So we'll see how it goes for the Oilers. Early scores tonight. Penguins, Islanders, not a goal yet. Crosby did hit the post on the breakaway. That's the only game underway so far tonight. And that's a big one, man. You look at the standings in the East. Right now, Islanders, 89 points. Penguins, 88 points. Islanders, 8 games left. Penguins have 9. The Blue Jackets have 88 points as well. They've played 1 extra game than the Penguins. Penguins also have the tiebreaker. Then you go to Ottawa, 86. Detroit, 86. Flyers, 86. So if the Penguins lose tonight, the Philadelphia Flyers would be 2 back of the Penguins and the Blue Jackets with a game in hand on both of them. Now, the Penguins and Blue Jackets both have a tiebreaker because they have more regulation wins, but and the Philadelphia Flyers are they're coming on here, and they got a chance to surprise some people here down the stretch. So it's going to be entertaining, man. You look at now Pittsburgh, they've got tough schedule this week. New York tonight, Detroit tomorrow, then Tampa Bay on Thursday. But after that, they got back-to-back against Florida, who doesn't have much to play for. Then New Jersey, then back-to-back against Washington. And then they do have St. Louis, the final game of the season. That might matter depending on what the Blues are doing. Columbus plays Carolina home and away this week. Then Winnipeg, then Detroit, then Buffalo, then Montreal, then Boston, and Washington. So Columbus definitely has a tougher schedule. The Islanders have Pittsburgh tonight, Buffalo tomorrow, then Philly, Carolina. Then they have a 4-day break. It's kind of odd. 4 days off for the Islanders. Then they've got Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Carolina. So they got to hope in their 4-day break that the other teams aren't winning very much. Ottawa, they got a fairly tough sched with Florida. But then Buffalo, Minnesota, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Now those games are all at home, luckily for the Sens, but that's for 4 of the top, 5 teams in the NHL. 4 games against them, so that could be Ottawa's demise. And who knows if their goalie's going to play. Detroit has Pittsburgh tomorrow, then Philly, back-to-back. And then they got Minnie and Columbus and Philly again, Tampa Bay later on. So decent schedule. As I mentioned, Philly, you know what? Washington, then Detroit and the Islanders, who they probably want to play because they're chasing them. the Bruins and the Red Wings again, and Winnipeg and Carolina, Montreal. So Philly and Ottawa, definitely the tougher schedules with Columbus. So Boston, I think, is in with 92 points. The Penguins, if they can just get through this week, if they could split somehow the Islanders and Detroit, I think they'll probably get in because their schedule gets a lot easier. But they get swept in tonight and tomorrow, then they could be in trouble. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We got Cam Tate and the 2-minute warning on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Diamond Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our
Picture that.
seatbelt-equipped, top-of-the-line motor coaches
Teen
have become
40.
the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991. Or visit silentrides.ca.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. Use code 1440 for 15% off at notalonecode.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Open your mind to saving up to 25% on select tires at Fountain Tire.
Okay.
Visualize mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires.
I see it.
And now, $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires.
Amazing. But how do you do this in a sidecar?
It's surprisingly spacious. Offer ends April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
In like a lion or like a lamb, out like a goat. That's greatest offer of all time with Sherwood Honda. And while there's plenty of goats on the lot, you can also custom order yours. Pick your Honda model with the color, interior, trim, and technology for the ride you've always wanted. Sherwood Honda can help you build and price your new Honda to make it the greatest order of all time. Pre-ordering sure would be simple and satisfying with help from Sherwood Honda.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. The Oilers' push to the playoffs is on, and OTR is ready to be your hockey headquarters. $5.75 Molson Canadian, 69-cent wings, and play, score, and win every game. See more at ontherocksyag.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
546. Well, just like that, we were talking about, man, look at the Jays' depth at their starting pitching spot. Well, Ponce was looked to field a play, and his left leg got caught up, and now he's getting carted off the field, and was looking in pretty discomfort. But sometimes when you're in a lot of discomfort, that doesn't mean anything super bad. But he was not looking good. Didn't bend his leg at all as he was making his way. It looked like it was his right leg hanging off the cart. So hopefully it's nothing too serious. But he is out of the game already for the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. Now, let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Home of the no payments. No interest for 1 year on your furnace or your AC unit. Stay cool or warm all year. LegacyHeating.ca. Cam Tate, longtime journalist in town. Cam, of course, born with cerebral palsy. He's in a wheelchair. He's never let him slow him down. He's always wanted to be on the radio. And through the wonders of technologies, Cam words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
Picture this. It is Sunday afternoon, 5 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third period. Your team has a 2-goal lead, which means making it to grandma's house on time for Sunday dinner is actually looking pretty good. And we all know you do not want to keep grandma waiting. The Oil Kings thought they had it in the bag. They were flying high with a 3-1 lead, their very first lead of this best-of-7 playoff series against the Saskatoon Blades. Talk about momentum. The Oil Kings blasted 2 goals in just 1 minute and 33 seconds. The arena was rocking. But then the hockey gods decided to mess with your dinner plans. The Blades stormed back, popping 2 quick goals in a wild 64-second span. Suddenly, the game is tied. Those last 2 minutes, completely scoreless. At this point, you better text grandma and tell her to keep the gravy warm. We are heading to overtime. Overtime hits, and the tension in the building is thicker than grandma's mashed potatoes. The Oil Kings battle their way through a brutal penalty kill. They survive. Then, Oil King assistant captain Ethan McKenzie right in the middle of the right circle and lets an absolute howitzer go. Back of the net, the Oil Kings take the 4-3 win and tie the series up. 1 game apiece. Now, the boys should be arriving in Saskatoon just about now. Game 3, Tuesday night. Sure, that overtime thriller meant you showed up late for dinner, but with a dramatic playoff win like that in late March, I bet grandma greeted you at the door with a massive smile anyway. 2-minute warning, Gregor Hallie Kruger. I bet grandma gets mad at him when he checks his basketball scores during dessert. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440.
The Oil Kings, Game 5 will be Friday night in Edmonton. If you want to get your tickets, of course, you can go to oilkings.ca to get them as the playoffs heat up all around the league. It's awesome time of year. Everett leads Florida, Portland 2-0. Kelowna is up on the Blazers 2-0. Prince George on Spokane 2-0. Penticton over Seattle 2-0. But in the East, PA up 2-0. Calgary on Brandon 2-0. But Edmonton, Saskatoon split at 1, and Medicine Hat and Regina at 1. So, of course, you got the schedule. Spokane and Prince George playing tonight, but most of the other series will get going tomorrow. Oil Kings and Saskatoon are going to play Tuesday and Wednesday in Saskatoon, and then they'll move back to Edmonton for Game 5, and Game 6, if necessary, will be Sunday in Saskatoon, and then Game 7, if necessary, will be back in Edmonton on Monday, April 6th. So keep that in mind. So. Should be fun, but pretty good crowds for the Oil Kings games, and I'm sure it'll only go up from here for the playoffs for the Oil Kings and the Saskatoon Blades. 2 tight games, goals 6 each through 2 games for the Oil Kings. Pretty fun. Cons, did you get any other notes on who's coming in for Ponce now? Because now they're going to have to go to a long reliever, I would assume.
Yeah, I didn't see I didn't even see the injury when it happened. Just looked up after reading the liner and got right to the injury, but doesn't look.
No, like
doesn't
Pompey,
look
like
good.
his reaction tells you he thinks it's pretty serious, right?
Yeah,
and which is never good. You know, the trainer's talking to him. Looks like he's just trying to give him some words of encouragement. But yeah, that would be brutal. Like you see him, he's yelling into his elbow. He's screaming like that's frustration scream, not a pain scream. So, but yeah. Now, do you not think Varland looks like Trent Frederick?
Yes.
Louis Varland and Trent Frederick. People, look it up. They look alike. They're not like twins by any stretch of the imagination, but there is a pretty strong resemblance. No doubt in my mind. So
valuable piece. This was his third appearance in 4 games.
Oh, hey, buddy, Varland, that was an excellent acquisition for the Blue Jays last year. Like, just the guy was a machine pitching in the playoff, pitching all the time. So that's good. So
Kind of wears the flood pants though. It's like Millhouse. Just a little short.
Hey man, he likes it. Why not? He likes it. So, hey guys, is Skinner playing in goal tonight for the Penguins? No. Sheilofs is I think Skinner played the last game. They pretty much last time I checked, they had kind of been rotating for the most part amongst their goalies in Pittsburgh. So I don't see that changing. Hey Greg, it's not order talk, but what do you think Skinner signs for in the offseason? Honestly, I haven't even looked at it. To be honest, I think a lot of it's going to depend on just kind of how he performs. And does Pittsburgh make the playoffs? And is he playing in the playoffs? So Skinner had started the last 2. Now Sheilofs is starting tonight. Prior to that, it had been a on again, off again rotation. But Skinner, that was the first time either goalie had started 2 in a row. Since Sheilofs did 2 in a row back. Actually, no, it wasn't even 2 in a row because it was pre and post Olympics. So it was like 3 weeks apart. So yeah, it's been a while since those two had Skinner started 2 in a row in late January. So it's a while. Coming up tomorrow, we will have lots of Kraken and the Oilers. A few special guests joining us. Also, we're going to have a former NHL GM joining us for Business of Sport on Wednesday afternoon. I think you're going to want to tune into that. On behalf of Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sean Brown, and everybody who joined the show, thank you so much for taking part. More importantly, thank you for listening. Support our sponsors. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. You're thinking cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. They got it. GoAuto.ca with over 15,000 vehicles to choose from. Have a great night. We're out.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
5 games on the ice tonight in the NHL after 20 minutes. Islanders and Penguins are scoreless later tonight. You got the Flames and Avs meeting at 6:30. Then at 8 o'clock, Golden Knights host the Canucks. The Leafs in Anaheim, and the Sharks taking on the St. Louis Blues. Toronto Blue Jays in action right now, top of the third. They trail the Rockies 1-0. Starting pitcher Cody Ponce leaving this one on a cart after attempting to play a ground ball. Lee Varland coming in relief. Elsewhere, Rangers up on the Orioles 4-1. The White Sox beating up on the Marlins 8-0 in the fourth. Reds have a 2-0 lead over the Pirates, and the Phillies at home trail the Nationals 7-0 in Atlanta. Braves lead the Athletics 3-0. Still to come, Astros taking on the Red Sox, Yankees in Seattle, Padres get the Giants, get the Guardians and the Dodgers, and the Diamondbacks hosting the Tigers. Earlier today, it was the Royals victorious over the Twins 3-1. In the association second quarter, Heat lead the Sixers 48-45, and in the first, Boston up on the Hawks 20-17. Later on tonight, you got the Suns and the Grizz. Spurs host the Bulls, Timberwolves take on the Mavs, Jazz, Cavs, Thunder, Pistons, and the Wizards in LA taking on the Lakers. March Madness. Elite Eight action on the female side. Texas right now leads Michigan 34-21 at halftime. Later tonight, South Carolina taking on TCU. Coming up next on our AM feed, we'll head to the Blue Jays game as they trail the Rockies 1-0 in the top of the third. If you're streaming, it'll be Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal